Welcome to Flat Earth Debate Uncut and After Show. I'm your host Nathan Oakley, and if you are new to this channel, or you've not done so already, then be sure to subscribe, hit the bell notification icon and join button to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. If you would like to support the channel, there is a super chat that runs alongside each of these shows while they premiere, and there's also a coffee, Patreon, crypto and thanks button in the info box below the video. Speaking of patrons, I'm going to do a quick shout out to all of you who do support me on Patreon. So a massive shout of thanks and appreciation to Smith Tools and Purchase, Level Plain Poem, Vitali Z, Colton James, BG, Survive the Spin, FE Patriot, Thomas van der Zander, Chris Wouters, Sea Level Cultist, Mitch Kennedy, Rod, The Name's Burley, Jason Hornsby, JMails24, Unamento, Iron26, Endless, Retro Bill, John Kays, Patrick Gunnels, Banter, Hairy Blade, Mobile Mac 777, Rob W, Dale West Watson, Unbelievable Productions, Blue Ridge Ranger, Abraham Mohammed, Skeptic 936, Texas Mike, Chow Young Cat, David Wayne Foster, and Dank. So another massive thank you to all of you for supporting me on Patreon. Now I will hand over to whoever is in Discord and Google so you can enjoy their dulcet tones while I set up for today's live show.
Hey, good morning. Hope y'all doing good today. I'm working, so I won't be able to talk, so I'll be listening though.
Kind of me too. I'm out doing some errands and I'll be in and out.
That makes three of us.
Playing glide slopes, and the instruments on an airplane have nothing to do with curve. And I just point out, oh, look, a bunch of horizontals. And even people who claim to be pilots are going nuts.
Yeah, Buck Sodbuster. He's going nuts. The guy won't stop sending me freaking Discord messages. I'm going to have to block him. But there's something he brought in yesterday. I'm going to bring it to the show.
I think he likes you, Neil.
No, he's just a coward. It's like challenging me to a fight in a schoolyard and not telling me about it. And showing up at the schoolyard. Say that. You didn't show up. I win. This guy thinks the point is perpendicular. Doesn't realize to a vertical you need a horizontal, not a point.
Talking about 90-degree angles and stuff like that. It was proving that the Earth was a ball. It was fun just going, oh, there's a 90-degree angle. You'll need a flat Earth for that. Told you a little odd days amongst people that were trying to show that the sun was lighting up half the Earth.
No, not right now, even.
Okay, well, I'll mail it.
Sound like you're in a cave.
I'm in my car. The car decides that it's going to use its microphone instead of my phone. Can't figure out how to turn it back onto the phone.
Yeah, the car, that don't work good. When you're using Bluetooth in the car, no good. What's up, Jado?
Hi, Neil. How is everyone?
We're all great, Jado. Thanks for asking.
Man, this summer went by so fast. I can't believe it's the second day of fall already.
Hey, I think I figured it out. How's it sound now?
Yeah,
By
just the
20% better.
season, just the name of the season, fall, proves you're on a sphere. Everything falls. That's why they call it fall. The leaves die and fall. They don't go up. They don't go sideways. They fall to the ground.
It's called autumn.
Yeah, autumn. They automatically fall to the floor.
I used to know a stripper named Autumn.
My first girlfriend's name was Autumn.
When she strips, where do her clothes go? Up, down, or sideways? Some flat earthers don't even know what anything means. They have a point on a sphere, and it could be perpendicular.
Oh, well, I had this guy, Captain Edgewise, during the weekend using roundabouts, tables, and platforms, all flat, to describe Coriolis.
Yeah, that was a funny. What did it was like an hour and a half, 2 hours, George. And then as soon as reference frames get mentioned, he fucking vanishes like a fart in the wind.
No swearing. They keep skipping right by the flat plane, right? Always. The trick they had, but now that it's exposed, they still want to use it.
Yeah, they need to stop using flat earth to describe a sphere.
Well, here's something for you, Georgie. Ready? This is what the guy says. A point is not perpendicular to a vertical. Right? I guess this is what he's saying. This is nonsensical. It literally makes no sense to say this. It is not right or wrong. It's like saying dogs are not planar. The heck? See, they want that point to be perpendicular to the sphere, but it's not. When I was doing flooring, I had instructions on how to put down the subfloor. And then it said, put the padding down perpendicular to the way the carpet is running. Now, that was not a point. that was full that made a long horizontal line. So I don't know what they're going at with this.
Yeah, there is no perpendicular to a point. That's why there is no perpendicular on a sphere.
Perpendicular, definition, dictionary, at 90-degree angle to a given line, plane, or surface of the ground.
There you have it.
Yeah, like horizontal. Parallel to the plane of the horizon at right angles.
Yeah, they need to defy axiomatic principles in geometry when they say perpendicular to a ball. No, perpendicular is 90 degrees to a planar surface, you dumbass. They need our measurements. They need our axioms. They need our principles in geometry. They just don't apply to balls. They all apply to flat surfaces.
Yeah, they keep using our stuff incorrectly and try to get away with it.
That would make a good T-shirt. Quit using our stuff, and then Earth is flat.
It looks like we're going to have to make another little, maybe a little video about how we do give ample time for people to bring their point across. It seems like people are saying that our platform does not allow fair discussion. Sort of like Danny Faulkner went, well, I don't want to go there because those guys are mean. Well, I don't like the behavior every day. But when he came on, you see that he was treated with great respect. So I don't know where these guys are coming from. They just want to go to a different server other than Flat Earth Debate to discuss what they think needs to be discussed. Well, we're right here. You can come at any time.
Well, you get away with a lot more bullcrap on different servers than here.
Oh, wait a second. This guy's for real. Let me get this straight. We beg you to debate. No, Buck. We're just calling you out to come here and stop chat skanking. Stop going everywhere else. There's an open door. You can come right in. We do not want to debate you. There is no debate, you freaking moron. These guys, like, they're in a delusional world. Like, we're begging them for something.
Yeah, they're pretending there is still a debate on the table. There is no debate. It's finished, done, dusted.
Precisely.
The earth is measured flat. Deal with that.
Yep. It's all latitude, man. And you derive your latitude from the celestial equator.
Oh yeah, Indio.
Monsieur.
Well, whoever that was sounded incredibly French.
I was going to say the same. I heard monsieur.
Parlez-vous français?
Un petit peu.
Ah, hablamos español.
También habla español.
Ah, sucablet?
No, that one I don't know.
Raspidoid, struto, Scheisenhauser.
No swearing.
In any
You know, this one,
language.
this is how you traditionally...
Yeah, shithouse. I don't need
Well,
to hear
mush,
German swearing either.
mushy mushy is traditionally the way you say hello in Japanese over the phone. Now, name the country in South Africa where this greeting is traditionally used over the phone. Did that come through?
Awkward. No one laughed.
Did that sound inherently racist?
It sounded non sequitur to the subject on the table.
I'll be back.
That's Mr. Schwarzenegger. Horizontal planes. If sea level is a horizontal plane, and we all agree with it, how many horizontal planes are there on the sphere? A sphere that have horizontal planes. The answer is 0.
Yeah, that's exactly what AI says too.
Yeah, those guys need a flat plane more than we do. So when they say as infinite tangent planes, you're like, well, that's not the surface of your ball then. That's a flat plane. Now, if you're going to describe that as the surface, then the surface is a flat plane. That's what we're measuring. But because they require axiomatically to have perpendicular to a plane, they plonk a plane on top of a ball and call it a day. You think that's good enough? Well, it's just not your ball surface then, is it? So the surface is a plane, and your ball surface isn't that plane. Your ball surface is dangling beneath the plane, presupposed to be dangling from a single point. But we're not measuring single points, we're measuring the surface. And what's that? It's a plane for us and it's a plane for you. It's just for us it is actually the surface, and for you it isn't. And not your ball surface is the immediate response.
They don't have tangents either. What they can have is a straight line to a horizontal line. That's not a tangent.
Yeah, when we're measuring the surface as a plane, we're drawing a straight line to a flat surface. What's that? No, it's a tangent to a point. No, ground positions aren't out in space. Nobody's dealing with the surface as an imaginary plane that's actually out in space with a ball dangling below. And you, in this instance, aren't dealing with your ball surface. You're dealing with a flat plane. Calling it a tangent plane won't change that the surface is being measured as a plane. The fact that you've got your presupposition of a ball dangling below is meaningless. We're measuring the surface. Flat.
Things upside down.
Engineering is just engineering. Has nothing to do with science.
Yeah, that's what I said. Engineering is engineering, and a scientific method is a scientific method. You're in the category era.
Thing is, once a Glober says something like engineering is science, okay, then why not building, making birdhouses or baking a cake? I mean, if engineering science, then literally anything that you ever come across in your day-to-day life will be science, according to them.
You can't dispute it. It is the application of science.
What's that?
You can't dispute
It's not even
that
the
it is
application
the
of science.
application
It's
of
just
science.
Wait, I'll go first.
I said, in regards to engineering, you can't dispute that it is not the application of science.
What gave it away? The title? Yeah, you're stating the obvious. It's like saying chicken farming. Well, that's not science. No, it's chicken farming. Engineering?
Yeah, engineering.
That's not science. No, it's engineering. Rowing? That's not science. No, it's not. It's titled rowing. Science? Yeah, that's science. It's because it's called science. The title kind of gives it away.
what would the application of science be in engineering? That's what I don't get.
No, engineering is men doing things. Yeah, exclusively dealing with the physical and natural world. That's science. Well, if a man's making something, you know what the cause is already, a man making it. So the thing about engineering is it isn't science. It's engineering.
Yeah, you could have chemical engineering or
Strongly disagree with the
geoengineering.
wording here.
It's not science.
Yeah, Jado.
Okay, the dispute is with the wording here. So there's no doubt that science, as in the method, is the elucidation of cause and effect relationships in the natural world. From that, we discover things that are true. That is, if A, therefore B. So after we conclude those things, then we can develop technologies based upon that. And then engineering is the use of those technologies.
Spot on.
Agree or disagree?
Absolutely correct. Couldn't have put it better myself. Yeah, through science, technology evolves. So yes, you don't have... Most technology comes about as a result of an application of science. But the resulting methodology, labelled as engineering in this instance, isn't the science. Same goes for the technology. A computer isn't science. Quantum mechanics is science. And out of quantum mechanics, you can have the technology of computing. But that doesn't make computing science.
Correct. So I'll revert back to my original statement that engineering is the application of science.
Hello,
How are
Nathan.
you?
Good afternoon.
Hello. Hello.
Hello, good to be here. You guys have heard me promoting a guy called Chase Hughes in the last week or so, right?
Yes. The PSYOP guy.
You got it. Well, you saw the video I posted in Master B, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to play this out for you. This has come from Joe Rogan. I don't know who's republished it. It's actually on Chase Hughes' channel. Oh, good. Brilliant stuff. Definitely going to share this. So in the live stream chat, I'm going to stick a link to Chase Hughes' channel. Now, not only is my favourite member of the behavioural panel, Chase Hughes, I just think he's outstanding. Every single one of his opinions that he puts forth, I tend to agree with. In the behavioural panel crew, all four of them, he's definitely my favourite. But in this instance, he's talking about something that we've covered quite extensively in terms of the suppression of what we talk about and the ridicule, vitriol, general unpleasantness that we have to deal with as flat earthers. So have a little listen and we'll go from there.
You only need one thing, and you can spot whether or not you're standing in the middle of a psyop. That one thing is, if the opinion that's coming out needs people to be silenced, it's a psyop.
Hey, do we all hear that nice and loud and clear? If the people who are giving the opinion out need to be silenced, then it's a psyop.
There are psychological operations in play.
Wow. So if you can't question it, if you're supposed to just go along.
So if you can't question it, what, like you can't question the ball and you're just supposed to go along? Yeah, we're with you so far?
It's a psyop.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if people have to be silenced or publicly shamed because...
Publicly shamed? Yeah, that sounds about right.
Because of their information, and they're not telling people...
So we talk about basic stuff here. Very basic stuff. Like Earth being measured flat. Like perpendicular to a plane of reference when describing altitude. Describing things like sea level. Clue is in the title, sea level. Or elevation itself, described from sea level. Or straight and level flight in aeroplanes, measured from sea level. All of these things are basic and axiomatic to how Earth is dealt with. Same with surveying. They use horizontal distance measurements and trig. It cannot be anything other than flat. It's trig, using triangles with flat bases and horizontal distance measurements. These are axiomatic facts used in measuring Earth flat. What's that? I should jump off a building and prove gravity? I shouldn't procreate? Yeah, that's what we get told. We get shoved to the bottom of the list and told to shut the hell up. We get told by YouTube that it's perfectly justifiable to put people who say the Earth is a ball because we measure Earth flat, and have the people who are measuring Earth flat with elevation angles promoted above us while we get silenced. Now, are we talking about complicated stuff like the sky falling? No, we're talking about measuring horizontal distances and elevation angles. Exactly how Earth is measured. But when we go on to say, because it's measured flat, that means Earth is flat, we get ridiculed, shunned, silenced, and treated like dirt. That's because you're involved in a psyop. What psyop? The globe. That's the psyop here. You're all part of it. It's a controlled structure, keeping you dumbasses in line.
The sky's falling. They're not saying crazy shit. They're just saying basic stuff, and they need to be silenced.
So basic stuff like Earth is measured flat. We use horizontal distance measurements in surveying. Very basic stuff. What about getting the height of a mountain? Oh, well, you'll use elevation angles from sea level with a flat base triangle. That's how mountain heights are measured. These are basic facts. And we get shouted down, shunned, and shoved to the bottom of the list and replaced with people like Simon Dan, who also measures Earth flat with elevation angle measurements to the sun. Flat baselines being used always to measure Earth, but the people who then say, well, that means Earth's flat, because that's exactly how it's measured, we're the ones getting shoved to the bottom of the list. Now, there is another group of people who also call themselves flat earthers, who talk about clone centres, Mandela effect, 9/11 truth, Those people can be promoted within this arena because they are talking about the sky falling. By comparison, crazy shit, end quote, Chase Hughes. Now, crazy shit is saying that Taylor Swift's a clone. That's what I hear from flat earthers. Crazy shit is saying the whole world's been taken over by a mud flood. That's crazy shit from flat earthers. Crazy shit that we do not talk about here. But the people who do spout crazy shit, they're allowed to be promoted because you can easily ridicule them. Us, we just need to be silenced. The ones talking about how Earth is measured. Flat.
That is a psyop.
That's it. I'm so pleased I came across that video this morning. As soon as I saw it, I'm like, that's absolutely perfect. Because I was searching through Chase's stuff to find a little snippet that I could cut out myself. And then he's done it for me. So thank you very much. I'm going to share your link again, Chase. As I say, you're definitely my favourite member of the behavioural panel by a considerable margin. It's not that I don't like the other guys. It's just I tend to find he's the most level-headed, reasonable, measured, calm. Just, I don't know, I like Chase Hughes a lot. So his link is going by in the live stream chat. It'd be great if a few of you from the live stream chat, there's only 31 people watching as we've only just started live, can actually pop along to Chase Hughes' video. I'm, as I say, putting the link in the live stream chat now, and let him know. At Nathan Oakley 1980 sent me with the highest of possible praise for Chase Hughes. So shout out to you if you ever find your way across my channel, Chase. I think you're awesome. Hopefully you'll get a few extra subscribers out of people toddling along to your show. Yeah, so if you don't know who he is, obviously that's his channel that you're going to, but he is a member of the Behavioural Panel, which is a group of 4 guys who assess body language when people are being deceptive. So, for instance, the woman who poisoned her whole family with mushrooms, the general family annihilator, they'll be going through their body language on things like police body cam footage. So there you go. That's the Behavioural Panel. That's Chase Hughes. I've mentioned them many times previously. So, what say you guys? And gals, if there are any. Yes, Nathan, we really enjoyed that clip. Well, I'm glad. I'm glad it summarised the situation nicely.
So the sphere is the psyop. Well done. They did a good job on it, though.
A good job on the psyop?
Yeah, on controlling the whole world. That's perfect how they did it.
Yeah. I mean, it's just another means of controlling people. It's just another religion used to keep you, the audience in this case, in your place. On a ball with finite resources. Meanwhile, in the recent history that's documented and easy to find, we have expanded the known territories horizontally towards the horizon. That's how we expanded the New Worlds. Now, New Worlds, it's not very conducive with a ball. They've been relabeled as developing countries, haven't they? But in reality, we have expanded the resources that we currently utilise by way of expanding the territory horizontally by sailing out towards the horizon. Beyond the offing. That's where we found new land recently. Now, those new worlds, again, not very conducive with an idea that the new worlds are up in the sky with the air and the twinkly lights. No, I would expect the soil and resources to be like all the other resources that we found horizontally when finding new worlds, because that's how we found them previously. We didn't find them up in the air. Now, that kind of nonsense is a bit like the sky falling, isn't it? Saying that we're going to find soil in the sky? That's your globe religion, the psyop. I'm not saying you'll find soil in the sky because that's crazy nonsense. You're never going to find soil in the sky. The sky being a vacuum in violation of the second law of thermodynamics without gas that we all breathe at high pressure, not dispersing into an area of volume 10 to the minus 17 torr as alleged in the heliocentric garbage world where the sky is quite literally falling and soil's coming from it. That's your psyop. Me, I'm talking about how Earth is measured. Flat in all instances. There are no exceptions. All measurements of Earth, without exception, are flat. Shove him to the bottom of the list and promote Simon Dan. Why? Because Simon Dan's measuring Earth flat too, but he says Earth's a globe after measuring it flat thousands of times. Doesn't he? I would have used Dave McKeegan as an example, but Dave was unsuccessful in measuring Earth flat for a full 24-hour period. Unfortunately for Fugly Dave, a tripod got the better of him. Good job there was other people in Antarctica also measuring Earth flat for the full 24 hours with elevation angle measurements off surface level. What's that, you don't like them being elevation angles off surface level? Well, then you don't have to accept your own measurements. Meanwhile, all measurements of Earth, without exception, bull believer or otherwise, are flat. It's not me saying the sky is falling. It's me pointing out how Earth is measured. Go and check any survey. At any scale, large or small, they all measure Earth flat. Like I say, me needing to be silent should speak volumes. 38 people watching. Back in the days that we were talking about Mandela Effect, I used to have 200 people watching. Amazing, that, isn't it? We progress, our arguments improve, we point out the bleeding obvious, which is Earth is measured flat in all examples, and the huge number of views drop considerably. Now, there's people around me who still talk about Mandela Effect, mud floods and clone centres. They still get the 200 views live. Me, not so much. Shout out to Jardo. Love Tripod Dave, he's a laugh. Is that your new name for him, James? Tripod Dave?
Yeah, Tripod Dave. That's his new nick.
What, try not?
Well, it's just, if you get a, quote, once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to go to what is alleged to be the bottom of a planet, only to measure Earth flat, you'd think you'd work your way around your own equipment, but Fugly Dave couldn't quite manage it. A tripod outsmarted him. So he's dumb. There is no other way of describing it. I gave him the benefit of the doubt and suggested he had a careless mother who dropped him on his head, giving him a speech impediment and an inability to use a tripod. But apparently he's just dumb. And very ugly. But he did measure Earth flat for a limited period. Fortunately, the rest of his crew managed the full 24 hours of measuring Earth flat with elevation angles, just not Fugly Dave. Too stupid to use a tripod. Ah, well, when God was giving out dicks, Dave said, on me head, son.
Well, they are too stupid to understand that for the 24 hours, they'll need a flat plane.
Well, they're measuring elevation angles, like on screen now. This is a polar axis angle, as described, from a flat plane, with the horizon out 360 degrees circularly on a plane. That is how we measure angles to Polaris for latitude with respect to a plane. That's how all Earth measurements are made with respect to a plane. What's that I hear? Tangent plane? So not your globe surface then? Well, that's disappointing for you. So we're measuring the surface as a tangent plane, says you, with a dingling, dangling berry of an Earth beneath the flat surface we're actually measuring. Well, that just means we're measuring a flat surface with a presupposed ball dangling beneath it that we're not measuring. Meanwhile, they will and do hijack flat Earth measurements and claim that it's tangent to a ball. So you're not measuring your ball surface then. Yeah, we know we measure Earth flat in all instances. Even when you think you're measuring a ball, you still tell us it's a tangent plane. It's just you measuring a plane. Because that's what Earth's surface is. A flat, horizontal plane used in surveying with horizontal distances, used to create a ball. Like Al Biruni measuring the height of a mountain with horizontal distances and trig. These are flat Earth prerequisite measurements of Earth's surface in order for you to create your ball to believe in. And then you can believe the sky is falling. Yeah? Crazy shit you psyop believing idiots all buy into.
Well, that's when I finally put my foot down with Buck and said, listen, okay, fine. Give me your spherical measurements. And he sent me a bunch of screenshots. I said, I didn't ask for that. I asked for your measurements. But he won't give them because he knows he's going to be using a flat Earth. So he's going to be giving me flat Earth measurements.
They all do it. Like I say, Fugly Dave McKeegan managed to measure Earth flat for a limited capacity until a tripod got the better of him. Simon Dan did a little bit better. He managed to measure Earth flat thousands of times with elevation angles with the participation of his audience. Thousands of flat Earth elevation angle measurements off surface level. Why? Well, because that's the only way you can measure Earth flat. That's how it gets measured, surveyed, built upon, charted, mapped, sailed across, flown across. Everything that ever measures Earth ever is flat. There's no exceptions. What's that? Tangent? So not the ball surface. Yeah, we know. A flat surface that you want to call a tangent plane, that's just a plane though, isn't it? And if it's the surface, then the surface is a flat plane. There is no dingling, dangling berry beneath it. That notion also comes from flat Earth measurements, like Al-Biruni or angles to Polaris off a flat plane. Your bull belief requires Earth to be measured flat also. That's the hilarious part of it. They don't realise that in order to infer, by begging the question fallacy, that they've got a dingling, dangling Earth beneath a plane that we're measuring, you still need to measure a plane to create the bull with a radius value derived from flat Earth angle measurements to things like Polaris, or Al-Biruni's height measurements of mountains with horizontal distance measurements and trig. Earth is always measured flat. Like I say, this isn't some crazy notion of violations of natural law, gas pressure not filling space. That's your crazy notions you're kept under control with. Shout out to Jardo again. Buck, if you're listening, you're an oxygen thief. Very nice.
No, he's dead. That's a good super chat because the guy won't leave me alone. He's telling me, why am I wasting my time? He's giving me his whole life story, how he worked his ass off, and now he's got a laid-back life. And I asked him, then why are you wasting your time? If I know for sure and without a doubt that Earth is flat, and you have a belief in a sphere, so? And he tells me he hates science deniers, and it's his mission to destroy all science deniers. I thought we were talking about geometry.
He's in a category error. Measurements aren't science. Science is an establishment of cause and effect based on naturally observed phenomena. So, step one of the scientific method. Observe a naturally occurring phenomena. That is something happening in nature. Then you ask yourself the question. Not like the Science Buddies version where step one, ask a question. No. The question is, why did that happen? That naturally occurring phenomena. And then you establish what you think, by way of supposition, caused the effect. Then you have a hypothesis. The if statement being your suppositional causal influencer, the then statement being the naturally observed phenomena. So if, supposed cause, then natural phenomena. It's an if and then relationship. In a hypothesis, otherwise known as a scientific prediction, it has an alternative hypothesis, if this then that, and a null, if this, not that. That is to say, you vary your suppositional causal influencer, and it does not cause the natural phenomena. Now, upon variation and manipulation of said presumed causal influencer, it can either cause the effect or not cause the effect. Those are the only two outcomes. So upon variation of said presumed cause, it will either validate the alternative hypothesis or validate the null hypothesis. One, and only one, will be proven true when you do an experiment. The experiment is the variation and manipulation of the presumed cause of the naturally occurring phenomena observed in step one. So to summarise, step one, observe natural phenomena. Step two, formulate a scientific prediction, otherwise known as hypothesis. Step three, actualise hypothesis by variation and manipulation of a presumed cause to see if it causes the effect or not. If it does not, tick, you validate your null hypothesis. Your null hypothesis is proven true. Alternative hypothesis being that your presumed causal influencer is a validated cause of the effect. Ergo, tick, you prove your alternative. So in both instances, if following the scientific method correctly, you can only validate the null or validate the alternative. Those are the only outcomes. Proof will be furnished in either regard, because you either prove the null or prove the alternative. That is the point of science. It furnishes empirical validity to an if and then statement in the positive or via the null. Only proof can be acquired. That is the point of science. Notice how I didn't detail anything to do with measurements or engineering when detailing variation of presumed causes to validate hypotheses. That is science. Not measurements, not geometry, not acquisition of height measurements by Al-Biruni by way of trig and horizontal distance measurements requiring a flat plane. That's just measuring things. That's maths. But idiots have been told that science proves they're on a ball. Why? Well, because science is an empirical method. So when someone says science, the presumption from the idiot ball believer is that they've got empirical evidence of a ball? No, you haven't. Number one, a ball's not a phenomena. A ball isn't something happening. Meanwhile, Earth gets measured flat. That's geometry, that's maths, that's measurement, not science. Category error.
Yeah, so I just had to explain it to him again. He's saying, all right, show me the measurements. Okay, an elevation angle. There's your measurement.
There you go. Elevation angle measurement to Polaris on screen now to describe latitude. Nobody's measuring from the centre of hell to acquire a latitude measurement to this star. As described in the celestial sphere system, the ball becomes nothing more than a glorified protractor, with the elevation angle measurement being with respect to the ecliptic in this description, actually the equatorial plane. The equatorial plane being the flat surface of Earth used to acquire the angle. As I say again, nobody is measuring an angle to Polaris from the centre of hell. But your ball is nothing more than a glorified protractor, utilising angle measurements measured from a flat plane to wrap a ball around your position and mark it with degree markers. Yeah, that's the flat plane measured from surface level to Polaris in this instance. That's how the hijacking of elevation angle measurements off a flat plane get transposed into a glorified protractor you call the ball. Nobody's measuring from the surface of a ball. You cannot get angle measurements from the surface of a ball. It requires a flat plane. Don't believe me? Go and ask Simon Dan. He's got thousands of examples from his participants where they measured surface level for an angle to the sun. That's an elevation angle. Elevation because it's off the surface. That's what elevation means. Now, if we're dealing with flights, you're dealing with elevation off sea level. Measured with barometric pressure, also measured from sea level. That's a level surface describing parallel flight. How's it described by the people flying? Oh yeah, flight level. Parallel with sea level. Axiomatically requiring a flat plane be measured. What's that? The sky's falling. Gas isn't filling an area of volume. 10 to the minus 17 torr in violation of the second law of thermodynamics. Sounds like you ball believers are involved in a psyop. You are. Earth's measured flat.
That's
even
why
for your ball belief.
airplanes
Go
are
ahead,
called
Duncan.
airplanes because it's talking about the plane, like the horizontal plane in the air.
I don't know about that. What I do know is the measurements we get from NTSB black box pitch data shows that the nose of the plane is up with respect to horizontal for the duration of the flight, proving beyond all certitude that Earth is measured flat.
Did I hear Neil say a few minutes ago that Bucksaw Buster has been boasting to Neil about how great his life is?
Yes.
Yeah, this is something I've dealt with myself with ballers, where he's trying to tell me about how great their life is because they're on a ball. One of the people that tried that nonsense with me was Wolfie 6020. Like that somehow his life was great because the Earth was a globe.
Really? Is it great when he contradicts himself about nosing down around a ball? Hey, Wolfie, how's that contradiction worked out for you? I mean, it's only been, 6 years since you tried to mask your lie about planes nosing down around a ball? They don't. You're a liar. I'm imagining you losing quite a lot of sleep over that. What about the non-inertial turning reference frame turning beneath planes that you claimed was accounted for in the technology on a plane? At ground control to Wolfie Clown Show, we have a man observing you from a non-inertial turning reference frame. Please make micro adjustments immediately. Oh, yeah, this is Wolfie here. Yeah, no worries. What an idiot. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's going to be losing sleep over me calling him an idiot, because it is idiotic to suggest there is a non-inertial turning reference frame turning beneath an aeroplane. There isn't. It would shorten flight times. For example, travelling west from Charlotte, North Carolina to Los Angeles would only take an hour and a half if Earth was turning underneath. And it is alleged by crazy bull-believing idiots involved with a PSYOP. It's called Coriolis effect. It's alleged that Earth is turning underneath. We'd notice we'd have shortened flight times. We'd notice we'd nose down around a ball, like Wolfie 6020 said 6 years ago, and has spent 6 years defending that lie, hasn't he? Yeah, I'm sure he's got a great life, worrying about his lies being exposed. I'm exposing them. Notice how I'm taking charge of, actually, Brian's example. I'll take ownership of that all day long. Go ahead, Brian.
You're right, though. I point about it because it's like, for me, it was just hilarious that anyone could think that somehow that if the Earth is spherical, that means your life is going to be brilliant. But if you think the Earth is flat, your life is going to be terrible. That's the that's the logic. It's like that doesn't compute.
Well, it is kind of does. Go ahead, Neil. You were first.
No, he's telling me why I'm wasting so much time here. It's funny because he's wasting more time, right? Sending me all of this nonsense. And he's claiming that FED's whole gig is that freaking there are no verticals on a sphere, and he's proving us wrong.
There are no verticals on a sphere, but we're not measuring a sphere. I mean, when they try and get us to describe how we can have reciprocating zenith angles on a sphere, you've got us to beg the question, haven't you? So you've won. Yeah, we don't do that here. We just go to actual Earth measurements. When Al-Biruni measured the mountain, did he have reciprocating zenith angle? No, he used trig. What about surveys when they measured Mount Everest? Did they have reciprocating zenith angles or did they use trig? They used trig. But if we beg the question that we can have reciprocating zenith angles on a ball, that we beg the question, and we're not begging the question of any balls with you, dickhead. We know how Earth's measured, we checked. And so did you. Simon Dan checked thousands of times. He measured elevation angles for it. Dave McKeegan managed a full 24 hours of measurement of the elevation angle measurement to the sun. Oh, he didn't, did he? He got outsmarted by a tripod, the fugly idiot. He still managed some, not all, of the flat Earth elevation angle measurements from surface level. What's that? It's curving? So it wasn't an angle that he measured. Oh, it was? Yeah, he measured Earth flat. So what's that? We should assume that there's reciprocating zenith angles. No, there isn't. That's not how we measure Earth. We use trig, rise over run, horizontal distances. These are non-conducive with your bullshit that you assume when you say that you can defy axiomatic principles like parallel verticals. All verticals are parallel. There's no exceptions. We don't need to defy axiomatic principles in debate when you put an axiom into an if statement, you complete clown. Just to speak to Brian's point about, there was one other thing though. You said life's better on the ball. No, if you're a ball believer and you're on YouTube, then we are censored, as in silence, like was described by Chase Hughes. So it's really difficult to pay my mortgage when I've got 44 people watching because I talk about Earth being measured flat. That's me being silenced. Now, like I said earlier, when I'm talking about Mandela effect 5 years ago, I can have a couple of hundred people watching because I'm an idiot then, aren't I? I can be ridiculed and mocked for talking about nonsense like 9/11. Yeah? That's conducive with ball belief because you can mock the flat earthers for their crazy conspiratorial notions. But when you get down to brass tacks of how Earth is actually measured by everyone, it's not like Dan's going out and not measuring elevation angle measurements from surface level. That's exactly how he's measuring Earth. Flat. But after he measures Earth flat, he says it's a ball. So he can have hundreds of thousands of views. Me, I need to be silenced, shoved into the lowest corners of the internet and not found if you type my own name or show title. You'll find my detractors. That's because you are part of a psyop. You need to beg the question of being on a ball, but you will get the views and pay your mortgage easily. So from that perspective, he's kind of right. But from a flip side of the coin, I sleep like a baby. I never worry, beyond this show, about Earth measurements or how it's shaped. Yeah, a plane's not a shape, but nevertheless, I don't concern myself with it. I'm sure not a single person on my panel does either. We don't need to. But the people who oppose us and get all the views and pay their mortgage easily, they have sleepless nights. They have to worry, like Wolfie 6020, about the lies they've told when they say planes nose round the ball. No, they don't. Not according to life and death pitch data that flied in the face of Wolfie's lies. Now, in terms of how Earth was measured by NTSB pitch data, nose up with respect to horizontals how Earth gets measured. Shocking, it's flight level. But Wolfie denied that and lied and has tried to cover it up for 6 straight years, hasn't he? How embarrassing. I'm sure you'd lose sleep over it with me, a flat earther, laughing at you for your deceit, Wolfie. Now, that's not going to be conducive with sleeping well, but he'll definitely be able to pay the mortgage.
It's actually
Unlike
9
me.
years ago. In 2016, he said it. It was actually 9 years ago.
He's been covering up for his lies for 9 years. 9 years of claiming that the nose down around the ball, Wolfie. Really? Why such a bullshitter, Wolfie? Is it because you need your belief in a ball to be true? So you need to lie about it? Yeah, we know. You've got to lie to Glurf. And Wolfie is a typical Glurf liar. That's why he lied about nosing down around a ball. No, Wolfie. According to Life and Death NTSB pitch data, you are scum and you lie to your audience. But you will be promoted in the YouTube algorithm with those lies, because those lies support the psyop that keeps you and everybody around you under control. So you can be promoted with that shit that you lied about, while me pointing out that you're an egregious liar will be met with censorship and silencing and told to jump off buildings on a daily basis. That's what I get. Now, if I call someone fugly, I never hear the end of it. Even if they are physically scrape your own eyes out the back of your head kind of ugly like Dave McKeegan is when he's measuring Earth flat. But we can spend an entire show, 2 hours of it, talking about how Dave almost measured flat for a 24-hour period, but for the fact that a tripod got the better of him, and I'll be moaned at, and the low-hanging fruit of calling him ugly will be focused on, while I'm being told to kill myself by my opponents in comments. Now, YouTube will allow those comments, because they're coming from the detractors, the ones that aren't censored. But me, my replies will get removed from my own videos, aka being silenced. Yeah, that's what we have to put up with. Fortunately, in spite of all of that crap that we have to deal with, I still get to sleep soundly at night. I don't ever worry about how Earth gets measured. I know how it's measured. It's the same for everyone who measures it. Dan checked. Craig checked. Dave McKeegan checked. Everybody in Antarctica measured Earth flat. These are facts. They'll never change, no matter how much you try to lie about planes nosing down around a ball, Wolfie. They don't, you're a liar. That's going to cost you some sleep, while I grin and tell you. So yeah, we get to sleep, they get to pay the bills.
What's a degree in science? What is that all about? How does one get a degree in science?
When you say degree, do you mean the number with a little circle after it, or do you mean the certificate you get at the end of university? Which one do you mean? Shout out to Jardo for gifting all those memberships. Thank you very much, Jardo. He's actually on the panel. Thank you, Jardo.
Certificate.
How'd you get a degree in science? You study science for a period of time at a university until they test you and qualify you.
But then how, if you study at university, you claim that orbits is science and atmospheric pressure, gravity, these are all sciences.
Atmospheric
so if you
pressure?
Went to university,
Sorry, atmospheric pressure is not science.
Well, this is a list I was given. We deny
Let's just break
mass,
them all down
we
then.
deny
Hold on.
geometry.
Stop. Let's just break them down one at a time. Atmosphere, that's an oxymoron. Atmo means air. Sphere, that's a shape. Air doesn't take a shape. It takes whatever shape of containment it's in, but it doesn't arbitrarily form sphere shapes, unless the container's sphere-shaped. So no, you don't have oxymoronic sphere-shaped air. It certainly isn't science, it's an oxymoron. Next.
We deny... Hold on, let me finish this. We deny orbits and gravity.
Right, orbits are derived from elevation angle measurements to Polaris to create a radial value to put in orbital motion by Kepler. So you'll need to measure a flat Earth for orbits. That's where you get your R value from. Alternatively, if you don't like Polaris's minimum, you can use Al-Biruni's dip angle and his horizontal distance measurements for trig. Earth gets measured flat to create a ball to put it in orbit with Keplerian motion. Next.
Yeah, but how would you even put that through the scientific method anyway?
It's not a naturally occurring phenomenon. Measuring an angle to derive a radial value to create a mathematics of orbits is maths. Now, it's a bastardization of the original flat Earth dependent elevation angle to derive radius when you suggest that the surface is curving and moving around the sun. But those mathematics, Keplerian in nature, invented by a man, are certainly not science. Barely maths.
Gravity.
Again, what's the naturally occurring phenomena claimed in gravity?
Well, the only one I know is things fall down.
Well, look up and you'll see a cloud defying that notion, won't you? So that's not true. Meanwhile, Newtonian mass attracting mass, that's all things with mass being attracted to the larger mass of Earth's surface, would require two things. Number one, down, a vector perpendicular to a plane of reference in axiomatic principles used to describe vectors of down. Second, it would require all things with mass, as is suggested, moving to the surface of Earth. We've got clouds. And, thirdly, although I didn't say there was three, it's been superseded by Einsteinian bent conceptual fourth-dimensional space-time mediums 110 years ago. Definitely not science.
And the Einsteinian notion requires a non-inertial plane to be rising up at 9.8 meters per second per second.
So mathematically, you'll be describing a flat plane rising up then. Nonsensical though that is. Kind of like the sky falling, suggesting that we've got a non-inertial plane rising up at 9.8 meters per second squared. Sounds a bit like crazy shit. Like sky falling. Yeah, that sounds like crazy shit, because it is.
Yeah,
I like Chase Hughes' terminology. I'll play the video again when we get about halfway through. Oh, we're already about halfway through the show. I'm just going to play this video again for people who have just joined the stream.
You only need one thing, and you can spot whether or not you're standing in the middle of a psyop. That one thing is, if the opinion that's coming out needs people to be silenced.
I just want to actually add a correction. When I say Earth is measured flat, that is not my opinion. That is an absolute stone-cold matter of fact. Horizontal distance measurements and elevation angles aren't my opinion. I am definitely silenced for stating the facts of how Earth gets measured, though. It's just not my opinion. Just make that clear.
It's a psyop.
Also, Nathan,
there are psychological...
Yeah, go ahead.
Is there a reification in that? Because he said if you're standing in the middle of a psyop, can you stand in the middle of a psyop?
It's fast and loose with language. I wouldn't call it a reification fallacy. It's close.
Fair enough.
Logical operations in play.
Wow. So if you can't question it, if you're supposed to just go along, it's a psyop.
Yeah, and if people have to be silenced or publicly shamed because of their information, and they're not telling people the sky's falling, they're not.
No, we're not, are we? We're telling people that Earth gets measured flat with horizontal distance measurements, and then we example globe Earth rhetoric like Al-Biruni measuring Earth flat with horizontal distance measurements. So we've got thousands of years of flat Earth measurements to back what we say. It's not like it's an opinion, it's an absolute stone cold fact. But what's that? If they're being silenced, you're supposed to just go along with the globe Earth that comes from those measurements, as opposed to just pointing out that once you measure Earth flat, that makes it flat. Yeah, that would need us being silenced, because you think the sky's falling. Yeah? You think there's little green men coming from it currently. Yeah, that's crazy shit right there.
They're not saying crazy shit. They're just saying basic stuff, and they need
basic stuff. Horizontal distance measurements, elevation angles, and trig. That's how Earth gets measured. Sound crazy to you? No, because you use it to create a ball. That's not crazy. It's your rhetoric, same as mine. I just don't add the, well, therefore, if we're measuring Earth flat, it must be a ball. So I get silenced.
to be silenced. That is a psyop.
I've stuck a link to Chase Hughes in the live stream chat. Please pop along to Chase Hughes' short and let him know at Nathan Oakley 1980 sent me with a polite comment. Feel free to praise him in the same way as I have in this show. I really like Chase Hughes. 47 people watching. I'm sure a couple of you can pop along to Chase's video to let him know at Nathan Oakley 1980 sent me. Please do leave him a comment and subscribe. Man, doesn't time fly when you're having fun?
I was given evidence of gas pressure at a container yesterday, Nathan. Would you like to take a guess as to what it was?
Can guess that it will be within existing gas pressure that would also require containment, but let's see if I'm right.
It was outer space.
That's a violation of natural law. If the sky was a vacuum, 10 to the minus 17 torr, then the gas we're breathing is going to be filling that area of volume. It's a law of nature. It's called the second law of thermodynamics. It'd be gas dispersion. The example of the second law of thermodynamics would be gas filling space. That's what gas does. Don't believe me? Fart. Does it fall to the ground, go boom boom with gravity, or does it spread out throughout your house letting everybody know how dirty and stinky you are until it dissipates? That's what gas does in all examples. Go ahead.
I was just going to say space is length, width, and height. Those are planar in nature, not curving. Why would they talk about space?
That's a good point.
No, he's referring to outer space, and that's the proof of gas pressure at a container.
No, that's begging the question of a violation of natural law. It's not proof of anything. Assuming gas violates the principles of gas movement? No, I'm not going to accept that as evidence. What? Look up, there's a sky vacuum. No, I look up and see clouds. Defying your gravity?
But we don't see the container.
Space either. But space can't exist to them because space is length, width, and height. They have length, width, and curve. You know?
So that word has to be added to the list then. That list is getting longer and longer.
Yeah, in terms of describing the altitude, outer space starts from sea level. How ironic.
See what? Did you say sea curve?
No. Outer space, as described by NASA, starts at sea level. To describe the altitude of outer space in any capacity, you need to describe it from a horizontal plane of reference. That's John's point.
We're just chanting stuff. I'm a Muppet, and I follow whatever you say. That's what we say. No, it's what the facts are. Okay?
So was there a disagreement with me, having an opinion on Al-Biruni's horizontal distance measurement and use of trig? Is that my opinion? I don't hear anybody disagreeing with it. You can. It's so common, in fact, that we've defined this position. So I say Al-Biruni measures Earth flat. He uses horizontal distances and trig. Full stop. That's a statement of absolute fact. What's that? No, he didn't. He should have accounted for a fraction. It was inaccurate. I see. So your globe Earth rhetoric to derive radius and your use of Al-Biruni with his flat Earth trig and horizontal distance measurements is inaccurate. Well, then toss that shit to the curb. It's not mine. I'm pointing out how your rhetoric uses a flat Earth and you want to deny it. and say that the base bends, well, then he can't do trig. Or what you do want him to use trig to get the height of the mountain, yeah, that's called the rock, where you accept and understand that Earth is measured flat. It can't not be, or he can't do trig. What's that? He did do trig, he just got it wrong because he didn't account for a fraction. Well, then he can't do trig. Round and round we go. Hard place. No, he got it wrong. He didn't bend the base of a triangle used in trig. Well, then he can't use trig. Oh, well, he did use trig. Well, then he measured Earth flat. Well, he was bent. Well, then he didn't use trig. Pick. Hard place of denying your own bleeding measurements, or rock. An understanding of where Earth must be measured flat by you, so that you can believe the sky is falling in your crazy, stupid psyop. Is there any scientific evidence of gravity?
No, there is no scientific evidence of gravity, but people have pseudoscience mixed up with science. That's what's going on. That's the problem is in all the world, in the church, everywhere. If it has a definition of something, people follow it.
How am I sounding today? I'm back on my main microphone for the show.
Sounds better.
I'm unfamiliar with the mic yesterday, so my youngest daughter had to do a brownies, whatever you call it, to get a badge task. I don't know what they call them, but she had to make a song up about fruit and veg. I'm like, oh, great, it'll give me an opportunity to use my new AKG mic. So I wired it all up, and what I thought would take 5 minutes ended up taking 2 hours. And then the show started. I'm like, well, I'm going to use this mic. It's wired and working and here. So in yesterday's show, you could see a giant, great big condenser microphone in my face. And that's why. But today I'm back on my Neumann, so I'm back on my flat earth debate mic. This is the one I typically use. It's my favourite microphone. Because it's a Neumann. Frickin' Neumann, man. Nobody cares. I care.
It's true to say that it's 100% true to say that the globe earth paradigm, and heliocentric paradigm, is the number one greatest gaslight and psyop in the history of humanity.
Yeah,
there's nothing that COVID, nothing even comes even remotely close to comparison, in my opinion.
And the longest standing psyop.
Oh, the outright world champion. You know what I mean? There's nothing that even, as I say, compares to it. It's so good and so inbuilt that people, what's the best way to put it? So inbuilt that people,
I know what you're going for.
Find anything
it's self-perpetuating. The word you're looking for is self-perpetuating. People defend this rhetoric off their own back. It's done of their own volition. There's no need to induce anything from external sources anymore. They can guide it through algorithmic love, censorship, and so on. But in terms of what they're guiding people defending this rhetoric of their own volition. Self-perpetuating.
Yeah, Neil deGrasse Tyson was a proponent of this because he was asked whether he was going to debate and he said no, but then he appealed to the Geekiverse to go out and debate for him.
The Geekiverse?
That's how he described it, yeah. The Star Trek fans.
Yeah, the Star Trek fans are going to have nothing on us describing how Earth gets measured, are they? They need a flat Earth more than we do. Their ball faith comes from Earth measurements. Obviously, you can't back-engineer a ball unless you've taken actual surface level measurements, and they do. That's how the ball gets created. Now, the juxtaposition's hidden, but it is still reliant on Earth being measured, like Simon Dan recently found out. For, 2-3 years, we've been talking about elevation angle measurements and how you require a flat baseline to do it. Then Dan goes out and measures Earth flat thousands of times. So we've checked, and by we, I mean me in the same pond as people like Simon Dan, just with him getting all the views directed to him, me not having them. But we're both saying the same thing. Elevation angle measurements of Earth prove Earth is, I say flat because it's measured flat by the elevation angle. Dan says flat, but that means it's a ball because we've got curved sea level. That kind of crazy shit that they spout over on the ball side after measuring Earth flat also. Or Dave McKeegan, his fugly nature and incapability of using a tripod. He's still measuring Earth flat for elevation angle measurements in a limited capacity until the tripod got the better of him. That's still a flat Earth measurement, though. There aren't any exceptions. They measure Earth flat, we measure Earth flat, Earth is measured flat. But if you say, yeah, it's measured flat locally, because it's a really big ball, then you can have tons of views. If you say, yeah, it's measured flat because it's flat, then you can be suppressed. It's just that simple.
There is a sycophant epidemic, really, isn't there, for the globe Arab?
Yes.
Because that's what they have. A lot of sycophants who will praise it and revere it and bow down to it and worship it. It being a nothing. You know what I mean? There's nothing to worship. There's nothing to bow down to. It doesn't exist. It's the most bizarre psychological pseudo experiment of all time. Like it's when you really are outside of it, it's shocking.
I think there is a genuine reason, and I think Math Powerland got it right from the off, and his title gives it away. Math, Power, Land. If you can convince the world that there are finite resources, as in ignoring the expansion of the known territories into the new worlds, where we found new resources, and then suggest that, no, it's a big ball and that's it. You'll just come back on yourself. There isn't anything else to find. In fact, the resources are millions of miles away. You'll never get to them. Then you can control all the resources and put a price on them. And you can inflate the price and put people into perpetual slavery. That's what's happened. They do it by divide and rule tactics. Create a war and then instigate massive amounts of debt on the countries that are broken. That's how it works. But it only works if that country thinks there's finite resources. So that's what they do. The globe helps that along nicely. Because there is finite resources if we're on a ball. And you ignore that we've expanded the known territories into the known worlds. What's that? Known worlds horizontally? Nah. Those are just developing countries. The new worlds are up in the sky. What's that crazy shit like the sky is falling? Yeah, I know. Very apt words used by Chase Hughes, eh? But you can be terrified. Terrified that a rock's coming to get you and wipe us all out like the dinosaurs. Like the sky's falling. Yeah, that kind of crazy shit is definitely a psyop. Man, today has absolutely flown on by. Almost been live for a full hour already. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah, I had to mute. I had to figure out a way to ban this guy, Buck Sodbuster. Of course, he doesn't stop. Now I understand what Brian was going through. It's like a weird thing. Like he's saying, "Stop begging me." Nobody's begging him to debate. He's going to other servers and claiming we're not showing up. It's like, am I in Bizarro world here?
You are.
You're asking me to ask Nathan questions. No, I'm saying the door's open. You can come.
What's he going to ask? It's not a debate. That's wishful thinking. He's suggesting that, number one, we're begging him to do anything. No, we're not. You're a nobody with a troll name. Nobody gives a crap what you've got to say. Meanwhile, you want to talk to us and take us away to your bike sheds where you've got a load of snakes waiting for us. Okay, well, that's fascinating. I can come. Pay me, and I'll come. It's not like I'm expensive. If that's what you want, me, I'm not begging him to do anything. But like I say, wishful thinking. Debate? What debate? Just go and ask one of your gurus, Simon Dan, for instance, about his flat earth measurements with elevation angle measurements. Or about this on screen, where we get a stick and a shadow and an elevation angle measurement at a well. These are flat Earth prerequisites. And they're part of your narrative. It's not like I'm making it up. Where do you think I got these diagrams from? Do you think I made this diagram? Do you think this is mine? Here's another version, an elevation angle measurement depicting what Aristophanes measured. Well, he's measuring a flat Earth for an angle. I mean, like I say, this isn't contestable. This is a fact. And when you are faced with the fact that Earth gets measured flat for your bull religion, you'll tell me that the measurements you rely on are inaccurate. Yeah, we've defined it. I did it already, didn't I? Hard place. No, we haven't got any accurate measurements. They didn't bend the ground. And then if you bend the ground, you haven't got an angle to rely on. Oh, we definitely got a flat Earth elevation angle. Well, then you measured Earth flat, didn't you? It's just that simple. There's no debate here. Wishful thinking.
Now I know why. That's why, exactly the way you laid it out, it's driving them insane. That's why there's nonstop messages coming all through the day, all through the night. They can't handle it.
You want the truth?
You can't handle the truth.
You want the truth?
That wall. You need me on that wall.
You think it's easy on this ball?
You need me on that ball. That's a good one.
Ball.
We should do a whole. We should do a whole little sketch like that.
You should say thank you. Thank you for me being on a ball on your behalf. I'd prefer you just said thank you and got on your way.
If you wanted a code red, you goddamn right I did.
Yeah, like I say, it's a laugh until you're trying to pay your mortgage. Please smash the super chat if you'd like to support this channel. There's also PayPal links below this video. Patreon links for people who want to support me on a regular basis. Good job, actually. I'm really grateful to the Patrons. There's so many times that I've wanted to turn my back on what I do, but for the fact that I can just about scrape by thanks to my Patreons and people who support me via PayPal and super chats and things like that. In other words, the community. They keep me going, quite literally. If you want people watching, please share the show if you've not done so already. It's just 2 clicks to put the show link on your favourite social media platform, be that Bebo or MySpace, Facebook, X, whatever it is you use. Click, click, share the show. Right, I'm happy to stay live for a little bit longer, play a video game while you guys chit-chat, unless you don't want to.
Wait a second. Did you say that so many times you were ready to give up? Now, is that because of finances or because the topic is getting a little stale?
Absolutely because of finances. So in the last 6 months while we've been writing the book, it's reached a point where I needed the finances from the book and weren't getting anywhere with them because it was taking forever to write and rewrite and rewrite and rewrite over and over again. Well, in that process, what's happening to me? Well, I'm struggling to pay my mortgage. So as a byproduct, I had to take on a 3rd job. So it's not just writing a book and running a YouTube channel. Now it's running a YouTube channel, writing a book, although that's temporarily on hiatus since Adam got robbed, and selling microphones. Well, it's just become too much. It's pushed me into poor health because it's too much. You know, I've said that. I keep saying it to people prior to flogging microphones. I'm like, I don't have any time to do anything. I'm at my absolute limit. But needs must, as the devil drives, as they say. So therefore, flogging microphones is what I've had to do to make ends meet. And even then, it still isn't enough. So you pedal and pedal and pedal as hard as you can. Now, obviously, I'm going to carry on because I'm supported financially. If I wasn't, that is to say I didn't have a Patreon, there's been many a times that I've had to say, no, I cannot carry on doing this because it isn't covering the bills. Now, fortunately, like I say, it does. I scrape by on a knife edge month by month, even after 10 years of YouTubing, which is sad. You know, after 10 years of YouTubing and refining the arguments to the point where there is no debate anymore. Earth's measured flat by everybody. How many viewers do I get currently? 52. 5 years ago, 200. Because we were talking about mud floods and Mandela effect, right? So we could be easily ridiculed. If you're out there listening to this and you're a flat earther, take heed, right? Now, I'm not saying give up your conspiracy theories, you'll do really well. You won't. But is that what you want? Do you want to do well because you're in a position to be ridiculed because you're talking nonsense about clone centres or gematria? What was that, Brian?
I was just going to say, actually, just prior to COVID, you were getting, I remember 340 live viewers one day.
Wow.
Yeah, it was like the viewer, and it was going up and up and up. COVID hit, and they absolutely suppressed the hell out of you. And now they've suppressed you even more.
Yeah.
So you're even doing better during COVID than you were now. And you're doing terrible during COVID in comparison to how you were just a month prior.
Yeah. The more refined the argument becomes, and by argument I mean the statement of absolute fact in terms of how Earth gets measured, the worse the censorship becomes. The more difficult it is to find me. The less my views get published out to even my own audience of subscribers. It gets worse, the better the argument becomes.
That's because you're undoing. You see, we're all undoing the magic trick, and they don't even want you in the room at that point.
Yeah, that's right.
You're not invited in, that's the thing. That
You're
we're
like the
showing how
guy pointing out. It's like the guy pointing out when the magician comes to a party. You're pointing out all the tricks he's doing as he's doing them.
The flowers are up his sleeve already.
Make the magician feel.
The flowers are up his sleeve already. He's got markings on the card. Get out. Nobody wants to hear that.
Hey, before you get too deep into it, make sure you plug QE's live today.
Be here or be sphere on the Quantum Eraser YouTube channel. Fun will be had by all, public guests and all, on the Quantum Eraser YouTube channel. That's Quantum Eraser Live, 7 p.m. UK time, 2 p.m. Central Standard. Be here or be sphere.
I think today is 1 p.m.
Oh, is it 6 o'clock? 6 o'clock UK, 1 p.m. Central Standard.
it's 7 o'clock UK.
Just make up your mind. Bloody hell, it's almost like these time zones are all over the place. It's nothing to do with me getting the times wrong.
If somebody would just come up with a video about time zones.
Yeah, Brian. Why can't you figure out the fudging of the time zones that have been done by the elites for the last 300 years? Why can't you figure it out in 6 months, Brian? What's the problem?
Oh, I did figure it out. I did. It's Adam who's trying to figure out the other side of it. Is that Adam we're waiting on?
Oh, way to shift it, Brian.
I
Good
also
move.
blame Adam. No particular reason.
Everything flat out is simple. In most, as in 90%, 90 to 95% of it is all simple. You know what I mean? It's the glow part that's complicated.
Yes.
No,
I don't disagree.
That's the part that causes the problem.
I completely agree. I was being facetious. When you try and unpick the globe nonsense, it's like trying to unscramble scrambled eggs, isn't it? You know, it's not going to be an easy process. Now, as far as seeing how Earth gets measured, that is, as Brian just put it, really basic stuff, which is why I cope with it quite nicely. It's really easy. Whereas Brian is in the thick end of it, trying to figure out how they've back-calculated flat plane measurements into sphericity and fudge the time zones. Well, that's not an easy thing to figure out. You know, it's complicated.
Well, what I'd say about it is, normally, the answers are very simplistic and are right there in front of you. And you just have to get to reality, because they have to address reality in reality. You can't have a mathematical reality applied to reality that doesn't align with reality. And you just get, like, let's say, for instance, for the most part, UTC time proves a flat Earth. There's only one or two instances where it goes against it, and that's only due to, let's just say, Spain are on the same time zone as Germany, but they should be on the same time zone as UK. But they changed to the German time zone when they thought the Nazis were going to win. You know, things like that. So small little things like that. But generally, UTC time is flat Earth. So, you know, so they are actually addressing reality when they're talking about UTC time. But most of the time, pardon the pun, they try and make it out as if UTC time is some special, complicated thing, as opposed to it just being, the spokes of a wheel. That's all it involves, because you're talking about 15 times 20, 24. Do you know what I mean? Which gives you 360 degrees, which is your time zones. You know what I mean? You're talking about 24-hour time zones, 1 hour time zones. Sorry, around a circle. I'd say it's actually very simple. Now, of course, trying to place all the cities and places into those time zones is actually more difficult than it should be, because they make a point of replacing these cities into positions they're not in as much as they can. They've tried to move because of their need of the globe. They've had to basically mathematically maneuver continents and countries into positions that they're not exactly in. Even if you look at Google Earth and you go out and observe the coastline, right, in your area, what you see and what Google Earth shows will be slightly different, because they've had to kind of, let's say, make something go slightly left or slightly right or slightly up or slightly down to fit the narrative they have. But in reality, that's why if you look at a lot of the older maps, it shows a lot of, let's just say, just the UK and Ireland, it would show in the older maps a more correct shape to those countries. You know what I mean? Like the older maps of Ireland show a more correct shape to Ireland, I think, than what is Ireland wouldn't have to change too much because it's so small, and where it is, you wouldn't have to change it too much. But its orientation, you'd have to change a little bit. And the same for the UK, and the bigger the countries and the areas, the more you'd have to mutate them. Especially south of the equator. So they have countries and continents in positions that they're not in at all. So that makes it a little bit tricky, but generally it's straightforward.
Yeah, but recently Africa has been crying that they're not happy with the way they're represented on the map. They claim they're much bigger than what's represented on the map.
They are. If you look at the Mercator projection, then yeah, absolutely they're correct. I mean, it's been done by the elites to make places like Britain look bigger, or Europe in general just look bigger than places like Africa. Well, Africa's enormous, but on the map it isn't. And I don't even know, although it's alleged, is it the Gall-Peters that's supposed to be a little bit more accurate in terms of the actual landmass being represented correctly? Is it Gall-Peters? Brian probably.
Yeah, that's. Yeah,
I don't believe that either. I was going to say, even if it is that, I don't believe that. No. Do you believe that?
No, I don't. I'll be with you. I would say it's closer, but it's not correct.
Yeah, exactly.
They're still trying to.
Yeah, closer, but I mean, it's still going to be. They're not going to have one map misrepresent it and then another one. Oh well, we just got, because everyone would just say, well, let's just use the Gall-Peters.
Like how you know that it's not correct is they're not using it.
Right.
If you know what I mean. They're using the most wrong map possible. So the only ones they could use is the most wrong one that they've made be most wrong, and they've mutated everything. They've mutated latitude and longitude positions of places and stuff like that, and moved them about to fit that wrong map, which is the Universal Transverse Mercator, right? If the Gall-Peters was the Gall-Peters is more correct, it's like it's not correct enough to be used, and it's not incorrect enough to be used, if you understand what I mean. For them, because if they're trying to, if you take the Universal Transverse Mercator, it is absolutely not what the Earth looks like. If you were to see Earth from God's point of view, do you know what I mean? It's not like that. The continents and countries aren't that size. They're not in that position. All these things. Yet they use that for so many things, right? But it's totally incorrect. So why did they use it? Why not? As you said, why not use the Gall-Peters? Well, the problem is the Gall-Peters is a bit more correct, and they can't use it because then they're trying to use reality. Do you know what I mean? it's kind of stupid. They need to use the most incorrect or just make a correct one. That's
But
kind
then
of
how do we
it's
get to the
bizarre.
places we get to, though?
It's a well, that's just a mutation of reality. See, if they'd have to, if they were to use the gold Peters, they'd have to completely redo everything because it's not correct, but it's closer to correct. If you know what I mean. Whereas for them to change, like they've had to completely mutate the orientations of everywhere and change the latitude and longitude positions of so many places. Like the latitude and longitude position of Sydney that they gave is not the latitude and longitude position of Sydney, which is proven by, and the same for Perth, as in relation to each other, they're wrong, because which is proven by time zones, because the time zones, which are the correct time zones that they're in, completely dispute the latitude and longitude positions. The latitude may be correct, but the longitude is wrong, because they've had to change the longitude position of Sydney and Perth, or at least change one of them in relation to the other, or something. Do you know what I mean? So there is a constant. There's just they can either work with a constant mutation or constant correction. If you know what I mean, they can't have half mutation, half correction, which is what the gold Peters is. They'd still have to mutate with the gold Peters, but they won't be able to totally mutate. So it's kind of. I think in some ways it's down to their mindset at this stage. It's the mindset of people who just adopt that. It's the mindset of some people who just adopt that.
What's your
that
favorite map?
worldview. Sorry.
What's your favorite? What's your favorite map?
Well, I don't have one because none of them are correct.
But if I leave
Everybody has a
America,
favorite.
I could get to Australia using a map, right?
Well, you can, but you might have to. Not just one more map. You won't be able to do that. You'll have to have a series of sectional maps. Just a world map won't bring it down. Yeah, you can't do that. That's why no world map is correct. You can't just use a world map to get from one place to another over a big distance. It won't work. It won't happen. The problem I have, even something like the Gleason's projection, which is not really a map. Like the latitude and longitude layout of that is correct, but the land masses underneath are incorrect because Australia is not that size, for example. So if you try to go from South China to Western Australia, you're going to end up in the Pacific Ocean. Do you know what I mean? It's not going to work. So you can't. You have to use sectional maps. Like pilots don't use a single world map. They use sectional maps. They have a whole mapping system that we wouldn't use or wouldn't see because it's all for them, and there's different things on their maps that are there for them. Different waypoints and different things, landing places and stuff like that. So there's all kinds of things, but like they don't just use a single map. They're using sectional maps, that go together, kind of thing. But the problem is that if you try to use any one world map, you're not going to get to where you want to go. If you're trying to go like from America to Singapore, like you're likely to take a wrong direction.
Well, isn't that telling in itself?
But I think they're more just for. I think world maps are really just more for visual. More just for visual, maybe aesthetics or something like that. They're more just something nice to look at because they're not showing reality.
But why can't they show reality? Because they don't want to show it flat? They're trying to
They don't
throw it
want
on
to
a
make a
sphere?
correct world map. They don't, because every world map they make is based on a worldview and a paradigm that's incorrect. So every world map is going to be incorrect. They'd have to make a correct world map, which they are unwilling to do. They'll make a million different incorrect ones. Like if you look at the amount of world maps there's loads of them. So they'll make a million incorrect ones, all in defiance of making just one correct one. Do you know what I mean? They seem to they've been refusing to make a correct one. You know, it's bizarre.
Yeah, because the correct one will be a flat Earth. Can't have that.
That's the problem. Is the correct one is not going to be. They don't. But see, it's not just that they're doing their best not to make it for that reason. It's that the people even making the maps, like let's say putting together a world map at different projections, those people are so stuck in a paradigm that they can't even think outside of it. So they're trying to make something, a square peg fitting a round hole, and it like constantly, you know, and they have to do all kinds of trickery and nonsense to make it happen, you know, and they end up with something that's a rectangle as opposed to a square, or they end up with a triangle as opposed to a square, you know. So they never have the square; they always have something like different from the square that has all the things that are on the square on those things, but in different positions. Do you know what I mean? It's what they do, like, you know. It's not even that they're outright trying their best to not make a correct map. They don't know how, because they keep on trying to fit a paradigm that doesn't exist into a map. Do you know what I mean? That they can't do. They just won't admit to themselves this is not working. That's basically about the size of it.
Yeah, it makes no sense to me, because somebody, a flat Earth cartographer could make a map of flat Earth if you had enough money to. I guess you fly, right, over certain areas and map them out. How hard can it be?
But they have everything mapped. It's just a case of putting it all together correctly. But they don't. They put it together incorrectly. It's like even surveyors, when they survey places, they'll use what they call local vertical and local horizontal. And then they'll convert those, right, to latitude and longitude positions on a universal transverse Mercator map. Right? So they're converting from what they're doing in reality to non-reality. And the thing is that when you're saying, Neil, that you said that they'd have to use a flat Earth and whatever, but the thing is that they're under the impression that there already is a flat Earth map, and it's called the Gleason's projection or the E projection. They're under the impression that that is a flat Earth map, the same way as a lot of flat Earthers, unfortunately, are still under the impression that that's a flat Earth map, when it's not. You know, it has elements of.
I see.
Do you know what I mean? So they think that already exists when it was actually never created.
Interesting how they did these things to keep people in a certain paradigm. Interesting. You got people fighting against you and want you to go back. It's always like come back. I'm so happy here. You're wasting your time over there. I've worked for 40, 50 years and established a little life. So in my spare time, I could come on here and laugh at you guys or be entertained. A joke.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. He's a fella pulling his hair out. Yeah, he has to move on to someone else now. When you delete, get rid of him, he's going to have to go and find someone else to send all his rubbish to.
I did. I found out how to block him, so all messages ceased.
Yeah, but see, there you go. Now you have to find someone else. He has to really, someone like Buck has to really, his unhappiness and his unhingedness, let's just call it, somewhere, because he can't deal with it. So he has to find somebody he can just bombard with bullshit.
Right, and it's weird because they play these like little child schoolyard games. Like, I was over there and you didn't show up. You're scared. No, we have a door here. You can come in. I don't have to relay messages. You can speak. Oh, no. Can't go there, but I'll meet you at a mutual platform where I won't get muted. It's like these little schoolgirl games.
Yeah, but I am scared. I'm scared to have my time wasted. I'm not getting paid for it. And I've said this to them. Like, I mean, Rue has called me scared.
I love it. That's the essence of comedy right there. You set someone up with an expectation and then you defy it. That's hilarious. I am scared. I'm scared of having my time wasted.
Yeah, it was classic.
That's just the truth. I've said that to loads of them. I said it to Ruhi. You know, I told Ruhi it's the same. So no, I told him that. I told him all that. You know.
The first time we're hearing it, that's a good one.
I thought you heard that before. Just I'm saying that to him for a few years now. But like I'm not trying to like. There's no point in trying to come up with excuses that aren't correct, that aren't true. It's like the truth is, I am scared of having my time wasted. That's why I don't do it anymore. I stopped doing it because I became scared of it. Because your time is precious, and do you want to waste it talking this? All you're doing is trying to help that person that you're debating, help that person sleep better that night. That's all you're trying to do. They're doing nothing for you. So why would you want to do that? You know.
But all the books, damn correct. This is what it says science is. I have degrees. So I'm going to listen to a bunch of guys that don't have a degree when I spent 40 years in science, doing science. And then
yeah, right. That's some knowledge arrogant.
Then in the same breath, he's telling me about geometry.
Yeah. He doesn't have to listen to anyone. He can just go away. Do you know what I mean? No one's making him be here. No one forced him. He's not. But it's not as if someone has his arm behind his back and is forcing him online to join. You know what I mean? To be sending you and other people, and it used to be me, comments and messages. It's like no one's forcing this guy to do this. Like no one's asking him to accept anything. He can just shut up and go away. But he won't. Is that your fault? No.
No, because he's in pain. Not me. I'm good.
Well, he's asking, is he supposed to accept X, Y, and Z from this, that, and the other person? It's up to you, buddy. You're just supposed to, you know, determine what is true and accept that, regardless where it's coming from. But he is a good example of one of these guys who can't stay away from the experts and consensus. Like most of these claimed experts in the world are just bullshitters. There is experts on things, but there's a lot of them are just bullshitters. And he can't, you know, he can't decipher between the bullshitters and the real ones. You know what I mean? And he can't just accept truth. If something has been said to him and that something is not coming from what he thinks is an expert, but it's just coming from the man on the street, he can't accept it, even though what is being said to him is true.
Exactly. That's it. You hit it right on the head. That's exactly how this guy is. If it's not coming from a place of supposed authority, then he's not going to accept it. Like he'll even read the definition of perpendicular. Nathan read it out, and he agreed, but still persists that you can have it on a point of a sphere.
Perpendicular.
You can have it 90 degrees.
At an angle of 90 degrees to a given line, plane, or surface, or to the ground.
But technically, he could have a 90 degrees to, let's say, a line from the center of a sphere going out through its surface, and where it meets the surface, you could have a tangent there and make it 90 degrees with that line. You could do that, but that is technically not perpendicular.
You can have that on a sphere. Yeah, that's no problem. There's just going to be consequences.
Yeah, that's a picture you gave me.
Hold on, I didn't know whoever responded to you. Go ahead, whoever that was again.
I wasn't finished talking.
Oh, sorry, guys.
Let me finish what I'm saying. First. You could have a 90 degrees to a tangent, but that is technically not perpendicular. That's just 90 degrees. For something to be perpendicular, it requires the orientations of horizontal and vertical, technically. So it's still not perpendicular. Now, sorry, finished.
Go ahead, whoever was responding.
Oh, I was just mentioning that, yeah, it would still be perpendicular. You could have perpendicular on a piece of paper. That's no problem. It's just there would be consequences in reality, such as if it was, you know, if you were doing it on a sphere where you lived on a globe, then that horizontal that you established perpendicular to the vertical would float, and balls would roll down it, and water would flow.
You don't have those. That's my point. You don't have horizontal.
Yeah,
those orientations don't exist on a sphere. They can't.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, That's the problem. So the orientations, you could create a 90-degree angle, but technically you couldn't call it perpendicular because you don't have the two orientations of horizontal and vertical to call it that. They don't exist, and they can't exist on a sphere because they're not like, there's no, what if you're calling something a vertical, then the next thing you call a vertical will be divergence from it. But verticals don't diverge from each other. The same with horizontals. You can't have two horizontals that are at different orientations to each other, but then none of them are horizontal. Do you know what I mean? So the orientations, those two orientations can't exist within that paradigm.
No argument.
Perfect. With that, I'm going to say if you are watching this on either Nathan Oakley 1980 or Nathan Oakley Programming Streams, then stay tuned as there will be an after show to follow.
Nathan.
Yes.
I have the picture of Master B. If
The
you
picture.
can pull it up.
The picture? No, really? What
The
picture?
picture of the perpendicular to a sphere.
That's an oxymoron.
I know, but I want you to go over it.
Go over it. I just did. It's an oxymoron. I'll just define perpendicular. At an angle of 90 degrees. Can you be at an angle to a curve? That's not rhetorical.
Of course not.
So it's an oxymoron.
Right, but what he was, I want to put it up because that's exactly what Brian was describing, how you can, but it's not in reality.
I mean, you can call it perpendicular to a sphere. You can say it, but it doesn't make it so. You're defying an axiom. 90 degrees to the plane of reference if you're talking about measurements of Earth. That's what perpendicular is. If you say, well, but Sodbuster says it's 90 degrees to a curve. No, that's nonsense.
Well, I'd have to disagree with you there, Nathan, because, as I said, you can mathematically make 90 degrees using a tangent and a line from the center, meeting at a point on the surface of a circle or a sphere.
That's exactly what he's got.
Yeah, but you can't call that perpendicular, because perpendicular relates to reality, which involves horizontal and vertical, two orientations that don't exist. So no, can't call whatever he's talking about. That is not, that you can say it's 90 degrees, but it has no relation to reality.
If two geometric objects intersect by 90 degrees.
Oh, yeah. Sounds like Captain Edgeware or Edgewise. Speak up, Edgewise.
Yeah, so if you have two geometric objects like a tangent point and a line intersect at a 90-degree angle, it's called perpendicular.
I mean, Mike's a train wreck.
No, he's not understanding. No, perpendicular must be relatable to reality. What you're talking about is not relatable to anything outside of just mathematics. You can't relate that. What you've talked about there, you can't relate that to reality. If you're going to call something perpendicular, it must be relatable to reality. 90 degrees to a circle or 90 degrees to a sphere. If we're talking about the Earth, it's not relatable. You know, you can't call that 90 degrees to perpendicular. Call it 90, but you can't call it, using a tangent and whatever, but you can't call it perpendicular.
So your east-west tangent on equal circles of equal altitude.
East and west are flat.
Are not
east and west are flat.
Yeah.
East and west are flat.
Doesn't matter. It's still a tangent.
It doesn't matter. So you accept axiomatically that Earth is flat to describe those directions then? Doesn't matter. Proves Earth's flat.
Is a tangent line.
What tangent are you talking about? Are you talking about a presupposed ball with the surface being the tangent plane?
Circles of equal altitude in a flat plane are tangent lines at a 90-degree angle to north.
North's a flat Earth direction also.
If north...
You're just ignoring me. North's a flat Earth direction. You're just going to ignore me? I've responded to what you just said.
I responded to what Brian said.
I'll respond to what I've said. North's flat.
So on the equinox...
You're going to ignore me? I'll say it again. Coward. North is... Are you going to talk through me? That's going to win you a point. Well done. You win. You managed to talk through me after ignoring me 3 times, Edgeware. I'll say it again. North's flat. It's a horizontal direction. Just ignore me. Then you'll win.
So travel compasses can't work if it's on.
Sorry, I didn't ask her a question. I made a statement of fact. North is horizontal. Do you accept this matter of fact, or do you need to ask me something so you don't have to accept this fact?
Works on a sphere as well?
No, north is flat. Have you never used a compass?
Of course I have.
And was the compass spherical or flat?
Because it aligns with...
I didn't say because. I didn't ask for an explanation. I asked you a simple question. Was it spherical or flat? Those are two choices. Not
Is the
because.
magnetic field flat?
Yeah, compass.
Magnetic field is not flat.
Sorry, compasses are flat. North is a horizontal direction. It seems like this is the fifth time you've skirted this. You've talked through it and you've ignored it and you've tried to give me a because explanation for it. But that would be fifth time a coward. North is... So you're going to talk through the sixth rendition, are you, Captain Edgeworth? This will mean you win. Talking through it for a sixth time means you win, Captain. It doesn't. It means you're a scumbag, and that's the seventh time you're talking through me, pointing out that you're talking through me. So now it becomes about Captain Edgewise talking about me. Doesn't change that north's a horizontal direction. He hasn't accepted this. He's not conceded it. I've had to take him to a compass that's two-dimensional and flat, and now he's talking through me for the eighth time. What a scumbag coward. It's almost like we've got to be silenced when we point out basic shit. No. This is very basic shit, Captain Edgewise. North is at ninth attempt. Ninth interruption. Ninth scumbag interruption. North's a horizontal direction. Isn't a seeking of an acquisition of a confirmation. It's a statement of absolute fact.
Yeah, it's a directional line.
Yeah, flat.
Works on a sphere as well.
No, it doesn't work on a sphere. It's a two-dimensional flat direction. Have you never used a compass? So if you say it works on a sphere, I'm going to ban you. Lying bastard glurf scum that has to lie to glurf. Compasses aren't spherical. He's obfuscated this 9 times. No, Captain Edgewise. Scum. Liar, glurf, gotta lie to glurf. North's a horizontal direction, like on a compass that's two-dimensional. Saying north works on a sphere is a baseless assertion that flies in the principle of the two-dimensional compass that lays out north as a horizontal direction. That's 10 times. Now, not seeking affirmation or debate, it's a statement of absolute fact. Glurf scum. You gotta lie to Glurf. All you can do is interrupt and obfuscate the fact of the matter. He needs to use north. It's part of his argument. But his argument falls apart the second you understand how a compass works. It ain't working on a sphere like this Glurf scum just lied about 10 times after obfuscating this fact 10 times. No, it doesn't work on a sphere. It's two-dimensional. Go and buy a compass, you stupid clown.
Yeah, I think there's a misunderstanding amongst him and his ilk, because the statement that it works on a sphere as well is incorrect. It can't work on two completely different geometric, outcomes. It's designed to work in reality. Saying it works on this other one as well, that's a completely 180 degrees opposite, basically, in its geometry.
That's correct. So, like on this diagram, just while we got it on screen, on this diagram, we have the flat planar directions of north, south, east, and west. That's how directionality works. This has come from Globe Rhetoric books. Not my book, Globe Rhetoric books. Even in Globe Rhetoric books, they describe these directions flat because that's the only way they can be described. That's why the lying glurf scum had to interrupt and obfuscate 10 times. Because the minute he uses directionality, it's flat. That's a fact.
Yeah, because he thinks that because the compass works and he's on a ball, therefore it works on a sphere. No, it
No,
works
it
on a
doesn't.
flat plane.
No, it doesn't, like in this diagram.
Well,
Captain,
the problem
nobody was
is
asking you. If you talk again, you'll be removed because you've lied and obfuscated 10 times, making you a disingenuous scumbag. I'm not inviting you to talk, Captain Edgewise. What you've done is disrupted our dissemination of fact when it comes to flat directions on a compass with obfuscation and interruption 10 times. That makes you a wanker that we no longer wish to talk to. I hope that's clear. That doesn't require a response. Don't come off mute. You had 10 attempts to obfuscate this fact. It's on screen from a Glurf book. Defying what you scumbag liars need to lie about. It does not work on a sphere, as this diagram shows, in a sphere on a flat plane. Like a compass, two-dimensional. You said it works on a sphere, making you a scumbag, a liar. No response is required. Shut your Glurf scum lying mouth. I didn't ask you to mumble at us either. Shut up. You're a scumbag and a liar.
You're making an absolute clean proof of it.
If you talk again, I'll remove you. You had 10 attempts to obfuscate this fact. You're not acknowledging it when you come off mute, even in spite of the fact you've had 10 attempts to obfuscate it. I've got a diagrammatical example of how fucking wrong you are. Now shut up!
It's a necessity to hijack reality first and then try and fit it into a worldview. That's what's wrong with this gentleman. He doesn't understand that the first thing he has to do is hijack reality. And then somehow make it work within what he believes the world to be, as opposed to just working the way it works in reality.
Yeah, that little man on the diagram needs to be on top where it says zenith. That's where that little man has to be. Not in the center on a flat plane.
Yeah, you can't make two-dimensional directionality anything other than that. That's what it is. But you can obfuscate me and talk through me 10 times if you're a scumbag Glurf liar. You've got to lie to Glurf. Talk about it working on a sphere? No, definitely not. You can lie about it though, can't you? Yeah, you can. That's rhetorical. You do. That's what you do. It's in your nature as a Glurf. You need to lie about two-dimensional directionality. North, in the case of your example. Because you need a flat plane more than we do to describe north. But the second you do, I'll shut you down and call you a lying scum after 10 interruptions. Because you have to lie. You've got no choice.
Shut up.
I wasn't talking. Did you hear my plug for your show?
Yeah, I did. Thanks.
No, thank Neil.
Yes, thank you, Neil. I would have forgotten. Right, it's going to be a relatively short after show today. Got stuff to do with my wife.
Say again?
I got stuff to do with my wife. She's a bit down in the dumps. I want to cheer her up.
So you're not going to make the show?
I mean, if that's not for several hours, so I might do. Depends how quickly I can cheer my wife up.
Why is she sad?
That's none of your business.
Why are you still here?
It's fair enough.
She just had some bad news, that's all.
Hate bad news.
Yeah, me too.
Can we get rid of bad news?
If we can get rid of poor health, we can get rid of bad news.
Yes. Both of those.
Was it 2698 today? Yeah, it was, wasn't it?
Your number?
Your phone number.
Yeah,
2698. Wow.
Title of the show is Wolfie 6020 Lying Scumbag.
Is that what it is? Did you do something on Wolfie today?
Yeah, first half of the show.
Too funny. I missed that. Sorry.
Yeah, Wolfie, like many a scumbag glurf, has to lie about planes nosing down around the sphere. Right up until the point that we had NTSB pitch data proving him wrong.
How could he even show his face anymore? Remember we did a treatment on his dumbass, but Will Duffy and that was pretty funny. He's a retard. I told him he was retarded years ago.
Yeah, got to lie to glurf.
Oh, wait till you look inside Ballbusters or Master B. I have a message for you, that a request.
For me?
It was for me and you. There's a request there. He had a proposition.
Can you please clarify how Snell's law applies to light appearing to flicker through trees? What? Explain how trees are considered a medium for Snell's law. What? I think he's getting a bit confused, right? Refraction versus diffraction. So I've described in the past how if you have a very tight opening between two leaves of a tree, you can have light naturally diffract before your very eyes. Which is true. Maybe he's remembered me talking about light passing through tree leaves and thinks I'm talking about refraction rather than diffraction.
I can't believe this is what we got to deal with, Nathan.
You just can't explain it, can you, QE?
No, I was stumped. I was befuddled.
Is a tree considered a medium for light to traverse? Am I missing something? Yeah, the light passes through the air, then it passes through the tree. I mean, I don't know, actually. Infrared probably could pass through to a certain degree, right? Snell's law only deal with visible light.
Snell's law deals with refraction, so visible light.
Yeah, so it wouldn't be dealing with heat and things.
You could do it with other light, but...
Well, then a tree's a medium. Why not? Yeah, I mean, as it transfers from the light moving in the air to the light moving through the tree in the non-visible spectrum, I guess it would diffract. It's a different medium. Snell's law would apply. Seems a bit stupid. It's a bit of a stretch, but I mean, fine. If we're being asked, I don't really understand what the relevance is, though. Did you get a context for why it would be relevant? Explain how trees are considered a medium in Snell's law. I just did, I think. I think I did a pretty admirable job.
I wake up in the morning and it's the first thing I see. I said, good God. People are just... They're not only stupid, they announce and stand proud with their stupidity.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Cloudbuster.
Gotcha.
Another one.
First thing I have to do is figure out how YouTube have hidden comments from me again. And spend quadruple the amount of time I would typically when I first get up in the morning, finding all the hidden comments that aren't appearing in YouTube Studio. And then find out how I'm being gaslit. How are they getting away with this? Oh, they've removed the tab for top comments from YouTube Studio on my main channel. So like, why? Well, because then they can hide comments from me so that people can detract from what we discuss in the live show and I won't see it.
Really?
Yeah. Unbelievable. They're hiding comments from me. They're making it very difficult for me to track down comments. So I have to go into a foreign browser and then into my own video via a search engine, rather than just going into YouTube Studio like I've done for 10 years, and then opening up my comment section and just looking where the newest comment is by clicking on newest. Well, in my second channel, you've got newest, most relevant, and top comments as one of the tabs. In my main channel, just newest and just most relevant. So if you've got a comment that, oh, it's got 5 likes from troll accounts, that becomes a top comment and vanishes from view. So I don't get to see it unless I go into the video on a browser rather than in YouTube Studio. Then I'll find a whole bunch of comments that I haven't responded to. You're like, what the hell? So I've got to spend triple the amount of time digging out comments on individual videos rather than using YouTube Studio like you're supposed to have a collection of all comments on the thousands of videos I got. No. If it's a video that's got lots of thumbs up comments from presumably the same bloody account that YouTube will let them get away with, it'll vanish from my view.
Yeah, we heard that. Are you of the philosophy? Tell us and then tell them what you told them, and tell them again.
You want a summary of what's happening, or what?
What were you saying about comments?
They keep hiding them from me. They've moved the top comments section away from YouTube Studio, so I have to go into the individual video on a browser, Neil. Did you not hear? I said it 4 times.
Appreciate that, Neil. They delete my comments. Even on my channel, they'll delete. If I make a comment, sometimes it doesn't show up.
They do that to me too now.
It's going on for about 4 years now.
Previously, when you were talking about it, I just didn't care, I've got to be honest. But now they're doing it to me.
Now, it's not that they're hiding comments from me. If I comment on a video,
if they actively remove them.
Yeah,
that's what they're doing to me now. So I will make a comment. So this is how it goes. Oh, there's only 4 comments today. That seems very, very low. Maybe I should investigate why there's so limited comments. Oh, here we are. Here's a string of trolls replying to themselves a dozen times. And it's got loads of likes. I don't need to go into that bit. Right? So then I'll respond. Yeah, put the counter argument to the person. And then I'll get on with my day and come back later and my comment's been removed. So then I'll go, well, sod this. I'm going to try and delete this comment. If I can't respond to this comment, then I'm going to delete it. And the delete button won't work. So I can't delete their comment. I'm not even joking. So I can't respond and I can't delete it.
Yep.
Welcome to the winning side.
I stopped trying many, many years ago.
That's what they want. They want you to just give up.
You know what they do to me? Sorry.
Nobody. Does it also happen to me? If not, I don't care.
Yeah, we don't care what happens to you.
Well,
no, go ahead, seriously. What do they do to you?
I care, Brian. Let us hear it.
No, I do genuinely care.
What they do to me is when I write a comment, right, they change it in real time, what I've written. So whatever I write, right, let's just say no matter how good I write it, if I put in commas, whatever, right, they'll change words around to make it look like, for anyone who's educated reading the comment, it makes it look like the person writing it is a dumbo.
Yeah, I've got that happening to me too. Yeah, that happens to me too. Yeah. So you'll very carefully type out the response, check it, and then double check it for spelling errors. Then click post. Then you look at the comment that's posted, and there's 2 or 3 grammatical errors, and the order of the words that you typed has changed. Yeah, that happens to me too.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for me,
the 4th thing they're after doing to me. Well,
yeah. If it wasn't for, so then you have to edit the comment, and often when that happens, it will not let you edit the comment. So it'll let you go to edit, you make the corrections, you make all the corrections, and when you press post, it says error 697 will not post.
Yeah, that's why I stopped commenting many years ago. I said, okay, I get it. I'm not commenting anymore.
It's gaslighting.
That's crazy. If that's true, you guys should screen record it or something.
I do screenshot it.
Yeah.
No. That's the problem. I like your thinking, and I do screenshot this every time it happens in case somebody ever challenges me. I go, there you go, there's a comment, and there's the tab above with missing top comments or whatever, and there's the same comment in the video itself. So I do take screenshots. The problem is, then they've won also. Because what's that? Like Brian described 2 or 3 days ago, that is in and of itself a red herring. Because then you're chasing down YouTube's gaslighting. rather than talking about Earth being measured flat, aren't you?
Yep. Yep.
That's it's just insane. I mean, it's almost like there could be legal ramifications. I mean, if they're changing words and the meaning of words, it could write out something threatening. If you know. I don't know. It sounds insane.
It's a good thing we have a lawyer on staff.
I was going to say, I love this 1980s mentality. I'm going to sue. Oh, yeah. Where do you think that'll get you?
Yeah, we have a lawyer on staff. It's Brian down there. He's a shithouse lawyer.
Logic, not lawyer. Logic.
My father's main line was, call ABC News.
Oh, because they'll help us out. ABC love flat earthers.
Too funny.
Yeah, they all hate us. Everyone hates us. And it's because we just talk about how Earth gets measured. It's pretty sad, really.
Oh, call ABC News. You ever see Seinfeld? I know Nathan don't like it because he bought into what Owen Benjamin said about it.
No.
But the Costanza's parents, George Costanza's parents, that's my mother and father.
Yeah.
Sure. I hate it because it's about three narcissists who are all three of them total scumbags.
A funny show.
Yeah, gee, they're not narcissists in real life. They're psychos.
No, the characters are all narcissists, I'm saying. Right? They're all self-absorbed scumbags. The example that Neil's referring to with Owen Benjamin, he did two things that I thought were really clever. And, you know, I'm not a big Owen Benjamin fan, but I just thought what he did was clever. Number one, he took off the laugh track. And suddenly it's very different listening to Seinfeld without the laugh track. It seems
really?
Yeah, it seems really dark. The other example he gave was a guy running a soup kitchen, and they come in, they start ordering soup, but then they start giving the guy...
No soup for you. We got it. Go ahead.
But then they ruin the guy.
Yeah, they steal his recipes.
Yeah, they ruin him. Yeah.
That's the comedy of it, Nathan.
Oh, hilarious.
I just like how the soup Nazi packed up and went to Argentina.
People are doing it currently, right? There's a guy I watch that's an ex-convict called J.D. DeLay. And all he's doing at the moment is grassing on people who've expressed their opinions about Charlie Kirk in the positive. So he grasses them up to their employer and says, ha, you've lost your job now. And you're like, okay, go and watch 1984 and tell me which character you are. I'll spoil it for you. You're the little kid grassing on your own parents. That's what you are.
Hey, you did it 3 times now. What is grassing?
You call it snitching.
And that's British for snitching? Grassing?
Yes.
Huh. Interesting. Never heard that before.
You grassing bastard, you.
No, not grassing.
Every day's a learning day.
Just grass. You're a grass. Not grassing, just a grass. You are a grass.
Ah, okay. And what you do is grassing?
Yes.
Got it.
So I should have thought that. I actually said to JD Delay on it. Sorry, Neil, go ahead.
How is that going to work? Because in the States, we say snitches get stitches. So what the hell do you guys say? Grass gets ass?
No, we just say don't be a grass. Yeah, it's like 1984. That's the behaviour. People grassing on their own neighbours.
It's amazing that we haven't come across this before. I mean, we've been in a relationship for almost 10 years now, and that's never popped up. I mean, there's been many blurries in the words and, just context things that that we've questioned you about. That one's never come up, not once.
Because contextually, we're not in jail.
We're not in that genre of snitching on others and stuff.
Exactly. So I can't remember the last time anybody said the word snitch or snitching in this arena either.
That's
Too
true.
busy deflecting with measurements.
That's not snitching, is it?
No, that's not snitching.
Well, the main guy is the Brian Mullen guy, right? That was the first snitch.
Brian Mullen.
To him?
Yeah.
That's nothing to do with snitching either. Oh, yeah, I see what you mean. Snitching to his employer. Yeah, I see what you mean. That would be snitching, yeah.
Tattletale or something.
Yeah, that's second grade playground. That's snitching.
I like the way Al Pacino feels about snitching in Scent of a Woman.
I just watched Al Pacino. Just watched a movie last night. About a lot of coke.
Which one?
The one about a lot of coke. Yeah, coke all over his nose.
Say goodnight to the bad guy.
That's the one.
He's wobbling all over, and the bodyguards are trying to be there to catch him, and they think he's gonna walk away if you watch that. Then he turns back around. You people need me. That's a classic scene.
Yeah, I pulled up something about the phrase grassing. The origin of it says the term is thought to come from 19th century rhyming slang. The original phrase was to shop on someone, which evolved into shopper, then grasshopper or grass shopper, and was eventually shortened to grass.
The Cockneys are guilty of that, aren't they, Nathan?
Cockney rhyming slang. Is that where it's from?
Most probably.
That's what Google AI said.
So can we call Neil deGrasse Tyson Neil the Snitch Tyson?
I didn't hear that, Neil. Say that again. Or don't.
Not worthy of repeating. Are we still going over that video on QE show today? Was the Mr. Butts guy? Mathematical physicist?
I'd imagine you are. But Kiwi's obviously run away.
Oh, he's not here anymore. Okay.
Probably his cat.
Isn't it hilarious, Nathan, the rubbish that YouTube get up to with the comments? Like that, I've had there's been so many different tactics they've used. I would say there's kind of four different, maybe five, but at least four different main tactics they've used against me over the past few years. There was a few earlier on they used as well. But over the past few years, they've had four different attacking tactics. You know what I mean? I can't remember the other three now, but the most recent one is the nonsense of trying to make it sound like a Dumbo. You know, by changing your comment around. But it goes to show, It just comes back to the very simple question: why do you need to do that if the Earth's a globe? Do you know what I mean? It's like, why would you need that at all? Like, that seems to be a completely pointless act if you have proof. It's like they know, even YouTube knows there's nothing. Do you know what I mean? They're on an absolute loser. So they have to stop people who are saying anything that points out the magic trick, you know?
But was this happening before that YouTube lady put the hammer down?
Yeah, there was stuff happening, all right, but the financially things were better, you know, before 2019. But there was still stuff happening. Like I remember way back. My comments being messed with prior to 2019. I remember it would have been prior to 2017, because I remember, like, from 2015 to 2017, I was just a person commenting on YouTube videos. That's all I did. I watched YouTube videos and commented on. That was it. Didn't join live shows, didn't make videos, didn't do anything. So, and I remember my comments being messed with back then. They wouldn't allow you to add a link and all this kind of stuff. Do you know what I mean? I'd select all of my comment if I needed to go and get a link and I didn't have it. I'd select all of my comment and copy it, and I go to paste it back in. It won't allow me to paste, and I have to write out another 4 paragraphs or something. You know, this kind of thing. So there was always some kind of messing around. It wasn't.
How about
like,
that too?
It wasn't.
How about that too? You get halfway through a comment and you leave it open on YouTube Studio, and you're like, I just need to go and get a citation to put in quotes, and I've got that citation in my notes. So I'll just go and grab it. So you change screen, you go to your notes, you grab your citation, you copy it, you type one little ditto mark, press paste, and nothing happens. Oh well, I must have mistakenly forgotten to press copy. I'll go back and do it again. And then you come back and the comment that you wrote out initially's disappeared.
Yeah, I remember that.
It's funny.
Yeah, we're laughing about it because the only reason this needs to happen is because we're in the right. Did you hear me play Chase Hughes earlier?
Yes, I listened to it earlier. Yeah, it was good. I liked it. Who is Chase Hughes?
He's one of the behavioral panel.
He's on the behavioral panel. Like, I should know that. What behavioral panel?
There's a YouTube channel with 1 million subscribers called The Behavior Panel, and it's 4 guys. Mark Bowden, you'd remember because you took the piss out of him when I last played their video.
I took the piss out of him.
Yeah, he trains actors.
Can we ask a question?
I'm going to go in now.
Ooh, that sounds spicy. Go ahead.
Is it a reification fallacy to claim one can stand in a psyop?
Stand in a sock?
In a psyop.
In a psyop.
Is it a reification fallacy? Is only a reification fallacy if you're attempting to use something as proof or evidence for a claim. Reifications happen all the time, like in storytelling. But they're not we would call them technically reifications, but they're not actual reifications. Reification fallacies. You follow that?
I'll follow.
Because if it's storytelling, because a lot of people do that, the use of what would you call?
Hyperbole.
Say again?
Models.
Hyperbole.
Is standing on a globe a reification?
No, you dumbasses. No, it's good. It's good storytelling. It provides great visuals and metaphors. So yeah, those wouldn't be considered reification fallacies.
It's only fallacious if you're using it to reason for something. Hence, fallacious reasoning. So if you're using it in an argument, then it becomes fallacious. So if you're saying, I can prove that the world is a sphere because we stand within, then that's a reification fallacy. But to say that you stand within a psyop isn't really.
Or the sea was angry that day, my friends. The C doesn't get angry.
That's just rhetorical language as opposed to a reification fallacy. Unless you're trying to anthropomorphize the sea into a living thing, then it would be a reification fallacy.
And claim it as so.
Yeah.
Well, it's not alive.
I'm just going to play Chase Hughes just to give context for people who've joined this stream late.
You need one thing, and you can spot whether or not you're standing in the middle of a psyop. That one thing is, if the opinion that's coming out needs people to be silenced, it's a psyop.
There you go. That's all we need.
Does he have credentials or something that we should be listening to this bozo?
I mean, he's trained in interrogation and resistance to interrogation, so he trains operatives on how to cope if they get captured and are being interrogated. That's his sort of training background. Trains army personnel and people of that sort of ilk.
Oh, he's an official.
Oh, yeah, he's ex-military.
I knew I didn't like him.
He's not a pogue. Why wouldn't you like him?
He's a pogue.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is.
Personnel other than grunt. Oh, yeah, he's not a grunt. Well, he might have been a grunt. I don't know. Yeah, you're right, he is a pogue.
Is he a waterboarder?
Is he what?
Is he a waterboarder?
A waterboarder? I don't think he's talking about that sort. That's resistance to torture as opposed to resistance to interrogation.
Same thing.
I don't know if I'd say so. Asking people, where have you been? What are you doing? What are you going to be doing? That's interrogation. Pouring water onto a cloth that's over your face, that's torture.
No, that's ways of getting answers.
Saying we have ways of making you talk and then torturing them is still torture.
No. It's just called ways of making people speak. You need to know information, and this is one of the methods we use. See, we just shoot them in the knees.
Okay.
Brian, there's a gotcha. I know I addressed it to Nathan because it was addressed to me and Nathan. We have I think they got us. We might be having to.
I heard about. I read it.
Did you hear
it? Trees being a medium.
Thanks to Nathan.
They are just looking for gotchas. I almost can bet money on it that someone's going to take out a clip of me talking about diffraction. Bet that's where that's going.
Oh, I know that's where it's going, because I remember you saying that.
And even then, that was me pulling out something out my ass, because I was like, diffraction's not a natural phenomena if it's passing through a slit. And you're like, no, inducing the natural phenomena through the experimental setup doesn't mean that it's not a natural phenomena. It means that you're inducing it so you can study it. And then they were like, well, what's the natural phenomena? Where'd you see diffraction? And suddenly you're on the spot going, shit, I need to think of something quick. Well, like passing through a couple of leaves, right?
Hey, that comment was from Daz Studio 68. Is that Daza?
Yeah, he's on our side.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's Daza. I don't know if it's Daza is from Australia. Yeah. Don't know if that's the same person. I've seen both those names, and I don't know if that's Daza.
He's on our side? No. Remember that crazy some bitch from New Zealand or Australia? He was always drunk talking about he was a helicopter pilot.
Yes.
That's one way to offend him. New Zealand or Australia or somewhere over there.
That crazy some bitch.
Remember that lunatic? Is that him?
Crazy ass South Canadians.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know if that's him. I thought you were talking. There's a different Gaza who's Australian, and he's always come into QE Live and on. He's on yours. He's never drunk or anything. But the guy you're talking to, yeah, I remember him. The helicopter pilot. You'd never put him in a helicopter. He drunk out of his brain all of it.
Are you saying this is a legitimate question?
Oh, I'm not making any claims about it. Someone did ask that, but it is a good saying to be someone asking.
Are you in Tesco, Brian?
Are you like 18,000 fathoms in a container beneath the Pacific?
Need a flat Earth for fathoms.
Our correspondent from the center of the earth.
How many feet is a fathom? And you got 5 seconds to answer. 5.
That's not enough time to Google it.
1,000.
3, 2, 1.
None.
Dumbasses. 6 feet.
I haven't got a clue. I just said 1,000. I have no idea. But that's what it was. Sorry,
I said 6 feet. We're on the tape.
Huh?
I said 6. We're on the tape.
6.
I didn't hear you say 6. That's a damn lie.
I didn't hear you say anything.
Just looked it up on Google.
Well, prove I didn't. We're on the tape.
Prove I didn't say something.
Well, two can play at that game. How many yards in a furlong?
3.
Wrong.
4.
1,000.
200.
I'm sticking with it, Brian.
220.
Something is going to be 1,000.
That's 220 yards.
Yeah, that guy's got 3 big feet.
What's the one that Alberuni uses? Oh God, what's it? Is it a cubit or something like that?
Stadia?
The stadia. That's not Alberuni though. That's Eratosthenes.
That's Eratosthenes.
Yeah.
Yeah, all the same.
I think Alberuni uses cubits. How many centimeters in a cubit?
Eratosthenes uses smoke signals.
Yeah, it's alleged to be stadia.
How many feet in a nautical mile?
Is it 1,400 and something? Oh, nautical mile? I don't know.
6,706.8624.
6,600 and what?
Sorry, 6,706.
676.
0.86. Yeah, 6,706.8624. Because it's 1.1508.280.
Of course, I knew that.
Yeah, well, I know it all as well when I look at the calculator. I'm not going to lie.
I gotta get in this.
Google.
How many snacks to get somebody to talk?
How many drops over the blanket of water?
No. I'm talking about a mafia interrogation. When cops grab him, how many smacks does it take to get someone to talk?
Depends on the person, Neil.
No, not today's mafia. 1 smack to get him to talk and 1,000 to get him to shut up.
Very good.
Hey, Lamar. Sorry about that. And Neil, don't be posting like friggin' Stafford to Devontae in messages. Don't do that, okay? You friggin' bozo.
I forgot. You don't watch the games. I remembered as soon as I clicked. I said, oh boy. Well, you only know about 1 touchdown. I didn't give you the whole game.
You're so backwards, you don't even know where. I don't watch the Sunday night or Monday night games. However, I do watch the live games. Red Zone. So, you dumbass cracker. I don't need you to tell me that. I already knew it.
I know.
And don't post it.
I'm going to post it just to break your chops now on every touchdown.
Not watch the foosball?
Anyway, it's a Ryder Cup today.
The Patriots-Steelers game on Sunday was the most disgusting thing I've ever watched.
You know what's funny? I have YouTube TV, but for some reason, I get every single game. Like, I get the red zone, but I could get any game, and you have to pay for that, right?
Yeah, Sunday ticket.
I don't know. I got it. They come. I get every single game except the one that's local. They won't put that through. I have to watch that on one of the local channels. But for some reason, I get them all, and I'm not complaining.
I won't watch them anyway. I like Red Zone.
I love Red Zone. But you know what they did? They changed it up. It's no longer 7 hours of commercial-free football. Now it's 7 hours of Red Zone.
Yeah, I kind of missed that. There's little commercials off to the side. It's not that bad. They're still communists.
But the thing is, I was expecting all the sports to do that now. I figured baseball would try to do it. Hockey would try to do it. I mean, why not?
What's Red Zone?
Red Zone is a way of watching every single football game that's on. See, football is different than every other sport. Every Sunday, all the teams play. There are also Monday night games. They added Sunday night games and Thursday. But back in the day, it was Sunday. All the games were played, and then Monday night there was a game. So it's very it's different than any other sport. But you can only get your local games. Now they made it so you can watch Red Zone, and they bring you in on every single game. Sometimes they'll give you an octabox where there's 8 little screens of all the games going on. It's just a way of viewing all the games at once.
We're talking about football.
Yeah.
Yes.
What, the English game of football?
No. That would be foosball.
No, that's football.
They mean the one where they carry the ball with their hands? That football?
No, that's the one where to start the game, they kick it off with their foot. And most of the time, the game winning points are with a foot.
So it's handball with a bit of foot.
Yeah, occasional football. Mostly hands.
Contradiction ball.
Occasional football with hands.
I see. So it's lots of different football games all running at once in split screen.
Correct. And they update you on everything. They'll take you to one scene where they're ready to score a touchdown, and the red zone is like from the 20-yard line on to the goal line. Then they'll switch to another one once that play is over. Then when that play's over, they'll go to another one. Then when they're all happening at the same time, they go to the octabox. It's exciting.
Very good. Sounds exciting. Couldn't they just all play on the same field? Wouldn't that be a lot easier?
No, Nathan, the reason they're doing that is because the individual games themselves are super boring. So if you have to have this big over-the-top action collage.
Yeah, okay. Football is anything but boring.
And then you have the witching hour, where losses become wins and wins become losses.
Oh, yeah. You got me excited already, and it's only Tuesday.
American football superior to any other team sport. Soccer is kind of lame.
That's correct.
That's correct.
A bunch of men in
Forgive them,
shorts
Lord, for they
crying
know
when they
not what
slept.
they do.
So we've got AR football, and then we've got soccer, and we've got football.
Guess where my Steelers are playing this week?
In the Octobox.
Dublin.
I think they're just lying to you. It's probably just Boston.
So they're playing it. They have one of those, are they? They're trying to make it popular everywhere, the American football. But it's been popular in Dublin a while. I don't know anyone down this way that plays it, though.
Is that the World Series?
Is it? World Series?
Oh. No, a series is baseball.
Yeah, but they have a lot of World Series of sports in America that they don't play anywhere else, don't they?
That's because America speaks for the world.
Of course it does. Nobody asked them to, but they do.
I was thinking to myself there recently, it just came to like, what is the most American thing ever?
Apple pie.
And no, it was this strong guy. No, let me tell you.
Well, that's no fun at all, Brian, but you go ahead.
Yeah. I didn't ask ye. I said I asked myself, and I'm about to give you the answer.
Can you keep the answer to yourself as well?
150s.
No, it was this strong guy I saw bench pressing this babe down on the beach somewhere. It showed us, I remember years ago. And he was smiling and he was bench pressing this kind of bikini model in the sun with a big smile, super perfect teeth. And he bench pressing her, super happy.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Alpha male stuff.
No,
I think I've seen that.
Happens in Russia too.
Shut up. I think I've seen that before. That's pretty funny, Brian. That's America to you?
That sums it up, you know. Doesn't it? Does that not sum up America?
A man with white teeth bench pressing a bikini model.
Yeah, strong guy at the beach, bench pressing a bikini model. I think he had sunglasses on him and he was smiling. So this kind of thing. It's like, it's the most American scene I could think of.
Well, we have a right to be arrogant, don't we?
No.
We have conquered everything. We are the number one country in the world, right?
You're thinking about England.
198. 199. 200. All right, babe. Here.
There's a video of Master B if anyone's interested.
About the greatest country in the
I
world?
was just bench pressing my girl.
We were only the greatest country in the world for like 70 years.
Who said, were you bench pressing your girl? You say?
Yeah, I'm American, dude.
Really? What's his name?
That's also American.
Oh yeah, that's
Being an asshole is incredibly American.
It's ma'am.
So is Nathan going to run this video or what?
No, I'm racing cars.
Liam puts a lot of good videos in Master B. You just don't pay him any attention. And he's a fellow countryman of yours.
That's not true. I told him how much I appreciated him yesterday.
Did you?
I did.
That is true.
Yeah, sensual makes intelligent selections.
Well, thank you. It's the
We'll
only thing
cover
I'm
it
good
tomorrow,
at.
for sure.
I'll stick to it. Well, apparently Nathan will be mocked by Jeranism and Professor Dave.
Oh, that's worthy of more than just a bit of after show. Then we'll cover that tomorrow.
No, you won't. You forget
No,
about it.
You won't, exactly. Put it on now.
You're not the boss of me. Now you're over the target, though, eh? So not a Professor Dave and Jeran sitting in a tree.
But is there a more retarded person than Professor Dave? Oh, yay, Jeran.
Than the millions of subscribers that they apparently have.
That's it. That always cracks me up too. These numbers of subscribers. That's really scary.
What my favourite was when Jeran started to do that to me, saying I'm much more popular than you.
Yeah.
I was like, well, I've had more views than you. He's like, no, you haven't. So then I went and showed him. I'm like, yeah, I have. And he's like, well, if Bob does 10 sales at $20 and Susan does 400 sales at $1, is Bob doing better? I'm like, no, he's not. In other words, because I'm nickel and diming my way to more views than Jeran, in his mind, he's doing better.
That's insecurity at the highest. It's like do 7 offsuit insecurity. Why don't you scream it from the rooftops? Who
Yeah, I've got
gives
more
a shit?
subscribers.
Who gives a shit how many subscribers or how many people? What bearing does that have on anything whatsoever?
It doesn't. But it's hilarious when you appeal to that and then it fails on its ass.
Yeah.
Why hasn't Jeran got as many views as me, I wonder? That's because he's less popular.
So now that we've gone through the red herring, are you going to play the video, Nathan? Because I don't forget.
He's on his final lap.
No, I will. I'll play it.
How long is it?
Only an hour.
What? No, I'm definitely not playing it.
That's like in 4 hours. At least.
You should have said 10 minutes, Sensual. 10 minutes.
Open an award-winning ISA today in under 15 minutes.
Go on, boss
AJ
me.
Bell. Feel good investing.
Wix. One platform. Any website.
It's going to be 10 minutes of cohesion.
Hey everyone, you've seen me debunk flat earthers many times before, but have you seen me do it with one of the flat earthers I used to debunk? I know for a fact that you haven't, but would you like to? You would? Great. Buckle
Sorry, who are you having this conversation with?
up and let's have some fun. Most of you are aware that flat earth is the first thing I ever debunked.
Good.
Very quickly before you start. What this is, right, is Will Guthrie has disappeared, right? Possibly gone to jail. I don't know. But he disappeared either way. And now they're desperately trying to keep alive some relevance to the TFE. So they're bringing in Jeran onto Professor Dave Explains channel. Like, it's pathetic, isn't it? It's like, is this all you got? I mean, because if this is it, winning is going to be so easy for us. You know what I mean?
My question is, why are they still doing anything? In their minds, this whole flat earth thing disappeared with... Oh, my God.
Because they're delusional retards. You asked, was it rhetorical?
Yes.
They're making money off it.
Way back in 2019.
Now stop. Before you go on, just share the damn thing. I don't want to look at your screen show. Thanks.
In this
And make
way,
it
Flat
bigger.
Earth is the bizarre cult that is responsible for pulling me down this path that is now a huge part of my channel, exposing all manner of science denial with increasing frequency and ferocity.
Yeah, category error. This isn't science. Describing an aspect that's measured, that'd be Earth and its flatness, isn't science. It's a category error. What would I expect from a man frauding the world claiming he's a professor?
To give the ultra brief version of the story I've already told so many times.
You mean the story you'll make up? Because it won't be how Earth gets measured, will it?
I have a series of astronomy tutorials that I was...
Sorry, how's that got anything to do with the surface of the Earth being measured flat? Straight away. Category error number 2.
It has everything got to do with it, because you can't take angles to those celestial bodies.
Hold on, that means that infers that you now think he's going to go straight to the measurements of these stars. No, he won't.
No, he won't, but I'm just saying everything he does involving astronomy, because they're going to have also always use vernal equinox.
And astronomy is demonstrable pseudoscience. Jeran wrecking his previous claim about the science denying.
Yes.
I was publishing from 2018 to 2019. To finish it off, I thought I would experiment with some content poking fun at astrology and flat Earth as an exercise in applying the basic knowledge that had been acquired throughout the playlist.
Astronomy, same thing.
Yeah, astronomy is derived from astrology. People like the people he'll revere, like Kepler, Brahe, all the people before them and people after them, Galileo, they're all astrologers. So he's having a go at himself without knowing it. Not that he's an astronomer, because he's not.
Much to my surprise, the same day that this innocuous and by current standards uncharacteristically polite flat Earth video was published, a group called the Globebusters decided they were going to do a live stream, tearing it apart and showing their followers what a stupid shill I am. This made them the first people to ever experience the...
So let me get it straight. So Globebusters spent their time showing that you're a shill rather than showing demonstrable flat Earth measurements. Oh, how shocking.
Professor Dave Clapback, and in a way that is unparalleled to this day, given that my response to them remains the most viewed video on my channel.
Oh, really? That really doesn't alter how Earth gets measured, Dave?
Sitting at around 15 million views.
Well, that must mean Earth's a globe if you've got 15 million views. Meanwhile, Earth gets measured flat. Your globe gets created with those measurements, and the chances of Globebusters covering that is absolutely zero.
Resulting in a humiliation so extreme that they subsequently deleted all of the content from their channel.
Didn't Bob Nodell die?
Who were these Globebusters?
Jeran was one of them, along with Bob, who's now dead.
Well, there was Bob Noodle, the one who was being an insufferable piece of shit the entire live stream.
Talk about speaking ill of the dead.
He's dead now. Then there was the Morgile. He spent several years begging for donations from his fans to buy...
I see. So given that you've soaked up every single one of his views, leaving him in a position where he has to e-beg just to survive, that's your justification for Earth being a sphere? That's a glorified ad hominem attack?
Crack, and I'm pretty sure nobody knows where that guy is anymore.
We do know that you were literally told to be promoted by YouTube, and the government were the ones who told him to do it. Are you not going to cover that? No, just going to suggest that it's because he's a crackhead. Wow.
Then there was Jeran Campanella, who
you're going to describe as being an angel.
Who had his own channel called Jeranism.
So the only description of Jeran formally described as a shithead and a scumbag, same as the rest of them, is that he's got his own channel? That's the only description?
He was the least abrasive of the three by far. But he was running the absurd script all the same.
I see. So he was running a script. You're about to talk to this guy.
Fast forward a few years, many of you watched my more recent videos on The Final Experiment, which...
Not an experiment. They did measure Earth flat, though. That's where they're going on camera. Yeah, they measured Earth flat for 24 hours. I say they. There was one ugly golem named Dave who couldn't manage a tripod. It got the better of him. Now, I gave him the benefit of the doubt and assumed it was because he was dropped on his ugly head by his parents, but it turns out he's just a spastic and can't manage a tripod. He still managed to measure Earth flat with elevation angles, didn't he, the ugly golem?
Which was the trip to Antarctica to see the 24-hour sun, led
by Will Duffy, who also measured Earth flat. You see these tripods? Yeah, one of them's Dave's. He couldn't manage it. But they're measuring Earth flat with elevation angles to the sun for a 24-hour period.
by Pastor Will Duffy. A 24-hour sun in the southern hemisphere was something that flat earthers had claimed did not exist for...
Really? That's a stereotyping fallacy. It's also a lie. We said you'd affirm the consequent for the azimuthal equidistant North Pole projection, or the ball, and you did. We also said you'd measure Earth flat. I told it to one of the participants while he was measuring Earth flat, and the response was as follows. Where are the guns, Nathan? Does that sound like he's acknowledging the flat Earth prerequisite measurements of elevation angles that fuck ugly Dave couldn't quite manage? Nah, it sounds like they're deflected to guns to me.
For many years, pretending that it was impossible to go to Antarctica to verify this because government, NASA, blah, blah, blah.
No, we also said that you'd affirm the consequent with the azimuthal equidistant North Pole projection. Of course, we won't get a mention. The retards will.
Jeran, along with Austin Whitsitt, was one of the flat earthers that was given
the true earthers.
True earthers.
A trip to check out reality with his own eyes.
And the reality is, Earth was measured flat there. We checked. Dave checked. He almost managed to measure it for the full 24 hours. Toon definitely measured Earth flat. As I say, I put that to him personally while he was doing it. He couldn't quite cope with it. He went quite nuts. I wonder if that'll get a mention. We'll just keep that in mind throughout the rest of this video. The fact that one of the participating members was on the phone to me whilst measuring Earth flat, and I personally pointed it out to him. You're measuring Earth flat, Toon. Response. You lied about guns, Nathan. That was the response.
And I don't
wonder if Dave... Sorry. I'm just saying, I wonder if Dave covered my... Just any random video, really. My measurement of the angular size of Mount Everest. Did he cover that? You know, or maybe the descent challenge for an airplane. Did he cover that video? No, he's been covering a heap of bullshit from a crowd of losers and liars over on Globebusters. That's all he's ever covered.
And he still thinks that's his number one proof for a globetard that stars spin in opposite directions depending on where you are on the Earth.
They don't spin in opposite directions. They'll go east to west.
Yeah, I know, but he doesn't know that.
Oh, Dave doesn't understand that all the stars, save for Polaris, move in the same direction?
Oh, definitely doesn't know that. The stars spin in opposite directions, Nathan.
No, they don't.
Him.
Oh,
Yeah,
you're saying that's what
According
Dave
to
says?
Dave.
According to Dave, they spin in opposite. No, you're a clown.
Yep.
I think I'm giving away any spoilers by telling you that they did indeed all see it, as is evidenced by all the time-lapse footage and all the drone footage to prove to idiot flat earthers at home that there were no screens or...
Sorry, can we just keep an eye on this tripod here, please?
Domes or whatever...
Did you cut the video just before fuck ugly Dave failed to get his tripod to work correctly? It seemed like if you'd have carried on that video, we'd have seen how bigger, incompetent fool Dave, that's fuck ugly Dave as opposed to lying fraud Dave, is. But you seem to have cut the video just before his camera went the other way. Why would you cut the video there? Is it because it makes Dave, the fuck ugly Gollum, look like a complete spastic? Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's why you cut the video there, right?
Well, what it actually does is that it means that the camera is then going in the claimed same direction, which is west to east, at the exact same, actually it was sidereal rate as the globe is claimed to move at. And the Earth didn't move underneath the camera. The camera just moved on its own for 12 hours. And the sun moved as well, as is shown by the shadows. So the sun and the camera was moving and the Earth wasn't.
He's put, it's fake, CGI, VFX, magic lies. No, we accepted it wholeheartedly. It's like, yeah, you measured Earth flat for 24 hours. Well, some of you did. Some of you are stupid and can't manage a tripod. But the rest of them did manage the full 24 hours of flat Earth measurements exactly as predicted. Like I say, I pointed that out to one of the participants while he was measuring the angles. What's that? Where are the guns?
Dumb shit so many of them all still pretend was happening because...
No, we accept you measured Earth flat for 24 hours.
They can't handle reality. If you haven't seen the videos I made about this trip, the one beforehand documenting the lead up and the one after documenting the trip itself and the aftermath, definitely give those a watch as it's some of the most entertaining content on my channel.
Really? Do you cover the flat Earth elevation angle prerequisite that Dave almost managed to make with his tripod? Or not? I wonder.
Of course not.
But to put it briefly, it's been
There's a picture of the beginning to Dave's autobiography right there.
Complete train wreck for the Flat Earth cult ever since. All the Flat Earthers in attendance announced that they did indeed see a 24-hour sun.
Not Flat Earthers. There was no Flat Earthers in attendance.
Those true Earthers.
Only true Earthers were in attendance. That's Jeran, bumbling idiot, Witsit, who's Boy Zero Sky Grifter, Mr. Ping Pong Golf Ball, and Camel Toe.
Which disproves the azimuthal equidistant projection of the
so it's a globe projection.
Globe that.
So what you're saying is you debunked a globe projection.
Flat Earthers had been using as their map. Most of the lazy Flat Earthers at home.
Hold on. That was debunked. The globe projection that was debunked in 2016, where Jeran, Hanoi Jeran, was part of the group. He wasn't the main. He wasn't in the main group, but he was an ancillary group following the same thing that he debunked in 2016. By the way,
claimed.
Yeah. For the rhetoric to work, where they're debunking a globe model and calling it a flat Earth map, Jeran needed to adhere to something he'd already debunked. It just works in the narrative.
Yep.
The ones in attendance.
And to debunk. I'm going to say to debunk that map, they needed to use flat Earth time zones.
And flat Earth elevation angle measurements to the sun for 24 hours.
Yeah.
Unless you're Dave McKeegan.
Were stupid shills paid by NASA to lie.
So was it intelligent to almost get a tripod to work correctly? Was that Dave McKeegan being intelligent? I mean, am I missing something? What about measuring flat Earth elevation angles to the sun? Is that intelligent? I'm pretty sure that's just measuring Earth flat, Dave.
Lie to everyone, and the whole thing was done in some dome studio, which is somehow so massive that it can contain this drone that flew like a kilometer into the air.
Kilometer.
Okay. A kilometer into the air? That height is a perpendicular to the plane of reference that's measured for altitude. You're going to need a flat Earth to be a kilometer in the air.
Yep.
Some said that the 24-hour sun doesn't actually prove anything.
Some did. We said you measured Earth flat with the sun for 24 hours. Let's see if he mentions that.
Despite admitting on the record countless times that it absolutely would prove the Earth is a sphere.
Oh, really? Absolutely.
Really? So when you say on the record, would a phone call to me personally, with me literally saying you are measuring Earth flat tune while he's measuring Earth flat, would that be on the record? I'm pretty sure we've made songs about it.
All manner of transparent coping and backpedaling was on display.
On the contrary, we agree you measured Earth flat for 24 hours. You've got little degree symbols after numbers that require Earth be a flat plane for it to be an angle.
As for the Flat Earthers themselves...
Now he's got Mr. Ping Pong Golf Ball calling him a Flat Earther. He's not a Flat Earther, Dave. You dumbass cracker.
Trust me, bro. I'm in the know.
Witsit continues to try and scam the Flat Earth cult.
All right.
That's one thing right.
Untrue.
that's the only
Even though
thing
half
right
of them treat him like a pariah because he admitted to the 24-hour sun.
But admitting to a 24-hour sun doesn't prove or disprove anything. But when the measurements require a flat plane of reference to have a little degree symbol after each number, then you're just measuring Earth flat.
Jeran, however, immediately disavowed his status as a flat earther and got to work reforming his channel.
Something he was never a part of.
Because he'd already debunked the model that he's got on this picture that he's now put across through.
Yep.
His identity. As you can imagine, he became a sworn enemy to all remaining flat earthers.
No, he was always
really
stupid.
We don't really care. I don't really see Jeran. We just don't talk about him. Has he become our sworn enemy? I don't think so. He was down there measuring Earth flat. I mean, you could say something like, I don't know, Oath is like a Home Depot to get around the fact that you're measuring Earth flat.
Hold on. He's not our sworn enemy. When he was calling you a scammer, yeah. But we celebrated when he left. It gave us some peace. We don't have to dictate his dumbass anymore.
He's a sworn retard.
with the flip of a switch, since idiot frauds like David Weiss and Eric Dubé will do and say anything to retain the meager income they earn from this scam. But
again, meager income, you've literally got the government telling YouTube to promote you over me. But you take that as a win. I mean, selective reasoning much. We are censored at government decree. But that's your victory. It's pathetic.
that didn't stop Jeran from transforming his channel into one that debunks not only Flat Earth, but other similar conspiracy theories like moon landing denial and more.
Well, he couldn't debunk a soup sandwich, much like you. Fucking ass clown.
Now, you're all aware that I couldn't care less about the Flat Earth cult and the drama within.
So much so that you're making videos and interviewing former members. That's how little you care about it. Makes perfect sense.
They're totally inconsequential. But a VFX artist named Gabriel Kerner, who has an interesting tangential relationship with the Flat Earth community, reached out to me to see if I'd like to have a conversation with Jeran on my channel. And I thought that sounded like a pretty fun idea. So that's what you're about to see here. I had some questions for Jeran about his experience in Antarctica and what the fallout has been like since disavowing Flat Earth.
Did you ask him at all about the measurements he made? We'll see.
Hold on, we didn't make the list.
Did anyone ask him about why he said when he got there on his own live stream that they were going to have to move from the base camp to a different camp because the sun goes behind the mountain for 3 hours a day? And then when they went there and came back, but he said it's really cold. It's great here having showers and everything else and hot food, but it gets really cold when the sun goes behind the mountain. And then Will Duffy, right, brings out footage from a drone, or footage, time-lapse footage of the sun not going behind the mountain from the base camp. Did anyone ask him about that?
Did anyone ask him? Did anyone ask him about how much glue he sniffed? True or false?
And then we give Jeran a chance to flex his newfound Flat Earth.
Just a second, Nathan, quickly. The point I'm making is a lot of Flat Earthers, they start jumping on things to do with the TFE, and they jump in on a load of rubbish. Go in with what is absolutely true about things that did happen, stuff that can be shown, instead of going, it's a dome of screens, all this stupid nonsense. Just go in and point out the things that can be shown. They're all on my channel. None of them address it. They won't address it because these are the things they can't address. Just needed to say that.
Debunking prowess. So let's get to that right now. Okay, thanks everybody. We're here with Jeran and Gabriel, and so we're going to do a little bit of Flat Earth debunking with a former Flat Earther. And but as many of you know of Jeran from some of the videos I've been making about the Antarctica trip, I have a few questions. I'm very curious because obviously I've been, I'm familiar with everything that happened. But
okay, let's take bets. How long in this discussion in... Should I say seconds? Should it be that optimistic? No, let's be a bit more pessimistic. How long in minutes before they start to discuss something that is a flat Earth prerequisite for measurement?
Immediately.
Quick.
You think within seconds?
Look at his. You talk about behavioral panel. Look at the way he's sitting.
Who cares about the way he's sitting there? But all three of them are retards. Mr. Hello down there at the bottom. I'm scared to death right now. Where's their helmets?
But I have yet to hear about the experience from a Flat Earther or at least a former Flat Earther. So, Jeran, I'm just curious. You get down there, you see the 20...
But down there? Well, there's a presupposition.
That's immediate.
There you go.
Yeah, down is perpendicular to a plane of reference. You can't have down on a ball.
24-hour sun. What's the vibe? What's going through your head? What is the what are all the Flat Earthers saying? What's going on?
Pause a second.
Why would you ask Jeran? Why is suddenly this ex-Flat Earther, by his own admission, representative of what Flat Earthers say? He isn't one anymore, you fucking dumbass. Why are you asking him? Ask me. I'll tell you what Flat Earth are saying. We're saying they measured Earth flat. I said it while they were measuring it. I got where are the guns as a response.
I mean, really, it happened in Punta Arenas.
Good.
I just want to say that the Professor Dave explained, we just made a statement a moment ago, that he's aware of everything that happened in Antarctica was the basics of what his statement was. Then he surely is going to ask Jeran about the sun not going behind the mountain. After Jeran making 2 separate claims on 2 separate live streams about the sun going behind the mountain. Surely he'll ask him about that. That was surely asked if he's aware of all the details.
Because in Punta Arenas, we were there for 3 days before we went to Antarctica, and I'm watching the sun set right to left and towards the south, which is right there is completely against my map. So of course I can kind of come up with something in my head. Oh, it's a coffee cup caustic. It's a reflection off the dome, something like that. But I knew that when we went to Antarctica, if that was the actual sun that we saw, that it meant it was a globe. So I'd already said those things.
That seems a bit suspicious. Why would you say I knew it was the actual sun? That's really, really suspicious use of language.
Yeah, it is.
If I say, if I see my youngest daughter somewhere, like in the karate class on the screen, right? And I go, I knew it was my actual daughter. You're like, why would you phrase it like that?
Before we went on the trip, which is why I was hated for 6
Hold on, shut up. Very strange. Very good point pointing that out. Another thing was, he said his map. He said, I was using my map, something to that effect. You mean the map that you were part of the group that debunked in 2016? That one? Was that your map? You glue-sniffing, treasonous, treacherous, traitor, dumbass.
Yeah, so that it was effective when he turned around as a shill and said it's not flat. He needed to be retaining a map that had already been debunked with him in mind.
6 months before that, it was clear to me that these are the kind of what do you call them? So they're mutually exclusive observations, right? So if we saw the sun set, well, that disqualifies the globe. If we saw the sun circle, it disqualifies flat Earth.
The false dichotomy.
That's affirming the consequent formological fallacy on both sides, dumbass.
Yeah, affirming the consequent formological fallacy for both flat and globe stacked up in false dichotomy.
No, for both.
And I thought that was one of the most impressive things.
No, not flat. Not flat. True Earth and globe. Remember, there's no flat earthers here.
Fair enough.
The trip is that Duffy wasn't afraid to say that. He came out and said, "No, if we see it set, it means the Earth's flat." It's like, okay, I'm willing to go. I'm willing to go with you. I'm willing to put my 10 years.
No, it doesn't. Doesn't prove the Earth's flat.
But the measurements do. You measured it flat.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
Years of what I've been saying.
Yes.
On the line. And then you feel really dumb. So you asked about how you feel dumb because you start realizing all the
actual being. He feels really dumb. You've been feeling that your whole life.
The reasons you should have known this, or you should have got this, and now I feel myself. I'm telling people all the time, like, oh, anybody can figure it out. You can figure it out by tonight.
By figure it out, would you mean like utilize measurements? Yeah, we figured it out. You figured it out while you were down there measuring it flat, Jeran. I mean, all of you did. Go ahead.
He said he was feeling himself.
Feeling himself as he figured himself out.
Yeah, he felt himself.
Without any help. And I understand that. I'm like, people could have been telling me that 4 years ago, and I just would have, it just bounces off you. So, the other flat earthers, they all saw the same thing. I mean,
sorry, stereotyping fallacy. Why are you now talking for me?
Nobody has come back and tried to deny what we saw.
And there weren't any other flat earthers there, by the way, including you.
Denied what it implies.
Sorry, implications, are they as good as measurements? Oh, this is implying. The suns don't imply. It's not anthropomorphization here. The sun doesn't have any implications. It just has measurements, and they're all flat.
Right. So I do think that Lisbeth, the girl who won the...
It's not going to be a second, that's for sure.
Well, I just want to give a little rundown of who the claimed flat earthers were at this claimed event. There was Jeran Campanella, who was being called out for absolute years by people who are flat earthers, right, as being a complete and utter fraud, right?
Yep.
That's him there. There is Witsit Gets It, who was caught on camera, thanks to Dave McKeegan, lying to his subscribers.
Yep.
Right. And now there's 24 hours of his lies on your channel, Kiwi.
What's up with that?
Then what's up at what?
That's what he said when he was lying. Don't worry about it.
Oh no, he said there's a little breath. What? Yeah. What's up now or something? Yeah, that's right.
Oh,
but
that's the least of the lies.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Don't you decry Vapegate. Vapegate is incredibly important.
You're ruining it. You're ruining it. It's going to be longer if you just stop ruining it. Right? Then there is Louisa. What's the girl's name? Louisa? I can't remember the girl's name now. But she's a good-looking girl. Well, okay. But this girl, she won the supposed competition to go to Antarctica. I never heard of her before, and since then, I think she's a Glober now. I don't know. But then there is a guy called Jonathan Miranda, who is a Hollywood. He did make movies and stuff in the past, but he's a Hollywood special effects artist these days. Top of his game in Hollywood, and they claimed he was a flat earther, and he was never a flat earther. So why did they feel the need to claim that the special effects artist was a flat earther? Why did they need to tell that lie? Why did they need a special effects artist with them? I don't know. I'm not making any claims. It's just they were the four claimed flat earthers, in case anyone was interested in how much of a fraud this whole thing was.
I don't think the FX artists got any bearing on this. Jeran knew it was the actual sun.
The contest, the golden ticket, she said she's no longer a flat earther. I don't think she's necessarily called herself a glober. Whitsitt, you know what's up with him. He's going to keep going down that line. And I told them when we got back to the airport in Punta, I went to both of them and said, hey, just so you guys know, I don't want you to hate me, but I'm going to be going in a different direction when we get back. What I saw tells me the shape of the earth. And they both kind of said, more power to you. And Whitsitt said, I believe you. I don't think you're lying. I think that's what you believe. So, what can I do about it? So that was basically it. I told Will when we were on the plane, we landed in Punta Arenas, and he was like 3 rows.
Landed? Brian?
Landed? How did you do that? What was the top of descent calculation used? Even how did you take off? Did you use trigonometry by any chance?
Yeah. Yes, with respect to a flat plane. The landing proved Earth was flat, so did the taking off.
Rows behind me, and we stood up, we're getting our stuff, and I just looked at him and said, the Earth's a sphere. And he kind of gave me this look like, what? Like, yeah, the Earth's a sphere. He's like, all right. So I think that made him really happy. I think he was happy to at least get one of us and not come back and nobody believed it. So, it's a nice trip, though.
Some victory, yeah. But you and Will made falsifiable predictions, and one of which was falsified. That's how science works.
Falsifiable predictions. Like what?
That's how science works.
An ass clown, Dave. What a slobbering retard you are. What were the falsifiable predictions, Glue Sniffer?
But so it sounds like are you and Whitsitt are amicable, or what's going on there?
I'm not sure if you saw me at a
amicable debate, was that the prediction
where he just accused me of fallacies the whole time and didn't give any evidence of the flat earth, which I even in my opener I said what Whitsitt will do tonight is and then
really, did you hear my name being screamed into the alleged Antarctic snow? Did you hear it? That was because I asked about the measurements that were being made. Did you not hear it? You must have only been within a couple of 100 yards of my name being echoed around the Antarctic Peninsula that you were all on.
And I gave an exact layout of what he would do, and then he went and did the exact thing.
How shocking. A perfect duplicate of my debate with him.
Oh, really? I mean, we all predicted that you'd measure Earth flat down there, and our predictions came true, so that's basically science.
and then I thought...
There's Dave's girlfriend.
Everything you would do,
yeah. And I'm like, I know. I was like, well, flat earthers are gonna think he did terrible. They're gonna be so mad at him. Boy, was I wrong? They're all, he just smashed Jeran. He did. I'm like, oh my god, these guys are just so desperate.
No, there's just no accounting for the willful ignorance there.
Sorry, willful ignorance. You had my name yelled into the Antarctic snow because I asked about the measurements that were being made there, the measurements that were flat. Repeating previous measurements made by Toon that were also flat. Elevation angles specifically. All of the guys who measured down in Antarctica, end quote you, down being perpendicular to a plane, were flat. They were either measuring weight perpendicular to a plane, levelled with a tool that can only work with a downward vector. Alternatively, they were measuring elevation angles for a 24-hour period. I say they. Dave, the fuck ugly Gollum, couldn't manage a tripod, so he didn't quite cope with that.
No, we're not like friends. I mean, we don't talk every day. I've probably talked to him, twice since that debate, and it's just been very businesslike. We had
businesslike. I see. Very interesting turn of phrase there, Jeran.
Yeah, interesting.
Very interesting. Just like business, eh? Meanwhile,
business.
We got the receipts. You measured Earth flat.
Is he talking about Mr. Ping Pong? Is he talking about business with Mr. Ping Pong golf ball?
Yes.
We have different opinions of the shape of the Earth now.
No. These aren't opinions. Let's just get this absolutely clear. I'll even go on camera to do it. When I say you measured Earth flat, Dave McKeegan measured Earth flat, those are statements of absolute fact. It's not my opinion that you measured Earth flat. Now, you can deny your flat Earth measurements or call them opinions, but they're not. They're measurements of a flat Earth. What's that? Can you hear that? Where are the guns, Nathan?
I mean, that's what it comes down to.
Yeah.
And in that truther world, you're not allowed to really step out of line like that. They're not going.
I don't know about you in your truther community when you're talking about what true earthers. You true earth friends not allowed to step out of line. No, when we talk about measurements, there's no stepping out of line when it comes to measurements. You can either deny your own measurements, in which case you haven't got any, or you can accept that you're measuring Earth flat, which you are. Those are your only two choices in this regard. There's no stepping out of line. It's not pecking order when we talk about measurements.
Going to welcome you. They don't want to hear you. I've kind of realized now how the Dave Weiss, how they get away with this is that they...
Hey, Dave, do you remember when you sold me under the bus? We're not watching Nathan Oakley, right? You're about to get raped by Jeran.
Block anybody who says anything bad about them. So they don't see anything you do. It's just you're blocked. They don't see it. And then they just go...
It's almost like Jeran selling you down the river there, saying you just block people, Dave. Who'd have thought it that Jeran would be such a complete scumbag when you sided with him? Amazing, really, isn't it?
Around and they're in their own echo chambers, and so they keep...
Echo chambers? I don't know what you're talking about, Jeran. You are on a channel that's locked down and nobody can join you on. Me, I have my doors open daily. Doors open for Toon to walk in while he's in Antarctica. Yeah, that's not an echo chamber. Literally, the only thing that echoed was my name around Antarctica. That's it. Because your compadre, now, baller, walked in on my show while he was measuring Earth flat, didn't he? Do you think that's an echo chamber? How did Toon get in?
Keep hearing the same thing day after day, and it just becomes like fact to them. So
Stop it. Day after day. You mean like on Globebusters for how many years? 8 years of that echo chamber? Now that was a true echo chamber, that one.
Yeah.
He's a moron. He's projecting.
Become very cocky, and they become very condescending.
Yeah, we can be. With measurements. We can condescend to Toon all day long. You're measuring Earth flat, Toon, you stupid idiot. Yeah, we can do that because you are measuring Earth flat. You too, Jeran. Yeah, that comes with a heavy dose of condescension because it's worthy of condescension when you don't realise that your own stupid measurements are flat.
And it's embarrassing to see because they're going around calling people globetards, and I'm just like, oh my goodness. I mean,
it's the cringiest shit ever.
Yeah, it's like just so ironic too, because they're calling other people retards, and you just believe what you're told.
We're retarded.
And it's like, oh man, you guys, if you only knew. And they don't listen to me. I mean, I thought
if you only knew how much retarded you are,
No, we do listen to you, Jeran. We do, right? We listen to you decry science as a flatty, alleged flatty, actually true earther, bullshitter who'd already debunked a map that you had on your icon. Yeah, that just makes you a charlatan. So we do listen to you, we address what you say, and what you do is fly in the face of scientific inquiry and flat earth measurement. So we are listening. We're listening right now.
This is how I know I'm a truther.
What would you call a person that makes a claim that about his hypothesis is rocks cause waterfalls?
A retard.
Wouldn't a retard? Wouldn't that be warranted in that situation, Jeran?
Yes, that is a demonstrable retard who would say such a thing. Jeran said such a thing, therefore Jeran is a retard. Yes.
Yep.
If Dave Weiss went to Antarctica,
Hey, Dave. Yeah, you're getting raped again. Yeah. Did you think it was a good idea siding with this wanker? Yeah, flying in the face of what science is because Jeran's got more fans. Yeah, now he's throwing you under the bus, Dave. Just make sure you're absolutely aware of it.
And got back and flipped. The very
Make
first
sure
thing
you're
done is watch
identifying
everything
which
he did.
Dave, because there's a lot of Daves that
Weiss.
are retards.
Weiss in this instance.
David Weiss, retard. You got a Dave here that's a retard, and then you got Dave Twangles McKeegan. What did you call him?
Ugly Dave.
Was Gollum in there?
Ugly Gollum Dave, who failed to use a tripod. So that's Fugly Dave. We got Fraud Dave, which is not a professor but pretends to be, which is the one on screen. And then we've got Dave, not quite a flat earther. We call him Big Bull Dave because of his quote, could be a big bull. Yeah, Big Bull Dave. This is Jeran throwing you under the bus.
Because I would say, hey, here's a guy who was a flat earth for 10 years. He just flipped. I need to know what he saw, well, they all just blocked. So, and
But that was a sentence fragment. Stuttery little sentence fragment from Jeran. Shocking.
then I did a series of 12 videos called Unplugged, like signed by me, and they didn't watch any of it. So they still come out and they say, well, Jeran just flipped because of light in the sky. They don't realize all the things that come with it, like the South Celestial Pole that I saw.
Right, south is a flat earth direction only. Have you never used a compass, Jeran? Yeah, the reason you get called a retard is because you use directions that are only capable of being described on a flat earth, like south. Yeah, point south. Is that south? Retard. South.
Yep.
It's horizontal. You need to use horizontal directionality, in this case south, to allege you're on a ball. Now, what's a word that would summarize? Retard!
For myself.
Mm-hmm.
And then being where we were in Antarctica, watching the sun go from, it was about 35 degrees high.
Sorry, 35 degrees? That would be an elevation angle measurement off a flat plane. Yep. Like you all made down in Antarctica, all except Fugly Dave, who was outsmarted by a tripod. So he wasn't dropped on his head, I'm assured he's just a spastic. Meanwhile, that degree measurement that you gave is two straight lines, one of them being the baseline for the angle. Earth being measured flat in this instance. It was pointed out to McToon. You probably heard my name echoing around Antarctica while I was pointing it out. I'll do a little recreation just for you, Jeran, you spastic. Where are the guns, Nathan? Yeah, that was the response when I pointed out that the elevation angle requires a flat Earth be measured. While you entered my echo chamber, that would be Toon, joining my show that has a public link, published daily. My show that's got more views than Jeran. Just to make it absolutely clear, I have more views than Jeran because he likes to appeal to this shit.
In the north and then down to 15 degrees in the south.
15 degrees in the south. Another flat Earth prerequisite elevation angle measurement and horizontal only distance description. So go and buy a compass, you retard. Is south down on the compass, you retard? No, south is horizontal. What about the elevation angle? Is it a bent line meeting another bent line, or is it a straight line meeting another straight line at a vertex to be called an angle? Yeah, that's right. You have to measure Earth flat to give a degree measurement with respect to Earth's surface. What a clown. All you seem to be doing, Jeran, is using flat Earth prerequisite directions and measurements to suggest you're on a ball. That's idiotic. Make no mistake.
And it hit me. I was like, oh my goodness, if I walk towards...
So far, I count nine admitted concessions of flat Earth reference, horizontal plane reference, just out of Jeran's mouth, 9. And I think the other two mentioned a couple, but that's 9 so far.
How many flat Earth prerequisites do you need to use, Jeran? I thought you said you were a baller. Stop using our stuff.
The southernmost part of the sun.
South? How many times have I got to do this? It's clear that Jeran's a retard. That's south. Go and buy yourself a fucking compass, you retard.
He doesn't know how to use one. Remember, on the plane, he had it flipped over?
Yeah, I do. What an idiot.
9 miles, that'll pop up a degree. Eventually, I'll get
A degree? What, like measurement off a horizontal baseline for an angle with a number with a little degree symbol next to it? You'll need a flat earth for it, you clown. What's that I can hear? Where are the guns, Nathan?
To where it's 15 degrees and 15 degrees. That's 10 degrees away, which means I'm 690 miles from the pole. And so everything just started to make sense.
How so? You've just given 3 flat earth descriptions and measurements, but suddenly everything makes sense? Well, if it's making sense, then as per the measurements you're describing, Earth is flat.
Seeing the sun go backwards, seeing the Tropic of
Go backwards? What the hell?
Capricorn.
And I think you're confusing what fugly Dave McKeegan's tripod did.
Curves the opposite way that the flat Earth map shows. Right? The flat Earth map shows.
Sorry, flat Earth map? No. True Earth map that you suggested was your map after debunking it, making you very disingenuous.
No, retarded. And that's a globe projection, you dumbass cracker.
Shows it going off to the right, it goes off to the left. So there's no more question for me. It's not like, oh, I still wonder, or and then seeing the sun set.
I still wonder.
For people in the south. That's one. I mean, to be honest, I don't remember.
In the south, a flat Earth direction. Jeran, go and buy a compass.
He's a retard. He doesn't know how to use
that for 10 years. And I think that's one of the most compelling evidences that there are, because we all see it every day. Anybody in the south goes out, they see the
south is a flat Earth direction, Jeran. It just seems boggling to my mind that you don't understand south being two-dimensional. I mean, that really is very stupid. Stop using our stuff.
The opposite direction of the sun than the North Seas.
Yeah, to me, that's a little more easily evaded by just which way.
North Sea? Do directions, flat Earth directions, see anything? You glow sniffer. Look at that dumbass in the middle. He's trying to figure out what these goobers are saying. Look at him.
Pointing or something like that. That's why I focus on the night sky and the clockwise, counterclockwise, because you can't.
Here it comes! Here it comes!
Mistake clockwise and counterclockwise.
Can I chime in on the which way you're pointing thing?
Sorry, we're going to get clarity on the clockwise, counterclockwise thing, Dave. You spastic. You're wrong. That's not what stars do.
Frustrates me so much because an analogy I've seen them use is if you're standing on one side of the freeway or the other side of the freeway, cars seem to be going left this way, but right if you're facing the other way.
Yeah, that'd be accurate. Have you never crossed the road and looked at the traffic go the opposite direction by way of your description of left and right? That's absolutely the case, you stupid idiot. You saying that's wrong? It's like this man has never crossed the road and turned around before.
That doesn't work because...
Doesn't work? Hello, spastic! Yeah, that is absolutely what happens when you cross the road and turn around. What a wanker!
If you're looking up at a ceiling fan...
Sorry, if you're looking up at a ceiling fan, then you're not crossing the road. Is it just me, or have you just given an example, defied it, and now giving a completely different example? It's almost like you're a wanker.
Is his name Dave, too?
I think his name's Wanker.
No, because everyone that's named Dave, this is a public service announcement. We went over, this is a very subtle window into the picture here. We got 3 Daves that we've been talking about, and they're all retards. So if your name's Dave, I'm afraid you might be a retard.
Nobody's on the other side of the
You're on
sky.
one side of the room, you're on the other side of the room.
Yeah.
It's turning the only way it turns the other direction.
It doesn't turn the other direction. In terms of actual measured directions, it's not changing its direction if you turn around. I mean, are you really this stupid?
Yeah, he's a retard. Yeah.
As if the ceiling is transparent and you're above.
So the cars, if they're transparent and you cross the road, what are you blabbering about, you stupid clown?
Looking down.
Right. How do you get to the other side of the...
I think he knows that Dave, that's fraud Dave, balls this up and now he's here to defend him, basically.
Yeah. To give him more confidence, to affirm. I can't believe those flat earthers. They say that look at original D-Rose. He's losing it.
Celestial sphere.
So that standing in from different perspectives thing didn't Weiss try to use that shit?
No, the guy you're talking to did. He just got it completely wrong when describing star motion.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they all try to use them. They're not really listening.
They all do they? No. The guy sat looking awkward with his hand on his face because he knows he's a spacker. He knows.
As well, yeah. It's
you're the spastic here.
What if? I mean, second grade retards are blushing over your stars spinning in opposite directions or counterclockwise, clockwise. I mean, this is below second grade retard nonsense, Dave. You fuckstick.
Sun setting, as I say, if you're looking west, and what that does is it then makes
west. Again, let's just do it on camera because Jeran's retarded. I'll just say it again. Go and buy a compass, you stupid retard. West. What, horizontal two-dimensional directionality? Yes, flat Earth only, you stupid spaz.
And don't forget to read the manual.
left and right, absolutely. Right? So if you're looking west, and
then you're on a flat Earth.
Yep.
The sun, and you're in the south. The sun sets.
Then you're on a flat Earth.
That's right to left.
Is that an objective? What the hell? Right to left? Which direction are you facing?
Diagonal.
Right.
And that's
it goes diagonally. Of course it does.
Weird to us because we're in the north, so every sun.
So you're on a flat Earth with a two-dimensional horizontal directionality. Very good. Yes, you are.
That we've ever seen sets diagonally left to right. And if you turn around and look at the east, now the sun rises left to right.
The east. Welcome to Flat Earth. It's going to be partly sunny today, high 76. The winds will be coming out of the right at 25 miles an hour.
Winds coming out of the right?
You mean left?
No, you mean west and left and right and east. That's what they're talking about.
Of course.
And so that makes sense to us in the north. So I can see where Flat Earth kind of maybe made sense to some people.
Okay. Sorry, it should be left, right. That's the direction.
You could look at the Flat Earth map in the north, kind of makes sense. But where it falls apart is the south. The south is a complete
welcome to Flat Earth
because it's completely not.
Yeah, inverts everything, which makes no sense over a flat plane.
Right.
Why would the sky spin different directions?
Sorry, why would the
sky doesn't spin different directions? You absolute abject retard! My God, son.
Right, and
that's what I got Weiss on. That's what I got Witsit on.
No, but you
got Witsit on that. Good job.
Hey, you know what? You know what's fundamentally stupid? I mean, this is better than the who's on first, what's on third, is the fact that they're using left and right, right? Okay, so in their perspective, left or right is east or west, right? So that means the sky is north, and they have to go through the dirt, through the earth to go south, according to their ideology. If they want to talk about that right-left, then up and down, literally up and down would be north and south, the way they speak. And that's just stupid. That's just straight up stupid.
It sure does. So my last question is just because I don't pay attention to flat earthers.
Honestly, hold on. He's lying there.
He's just gone through the videos that he spent and the views he's got on flat earth material, only to now say he doesn't pay attention to flat earthers.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
What is your perception of the flat earth community? Is it a shell of its former self? Is it just as strong as always? What are the numbers? What's the morale?
What's the numbers?
What are the numbers? Why would he know?
As strong as always. Is that a confession?
Darren doesn't understand.
He's talking like there's a war going on.
What's going on?
They have their group that's on Facebook and their loudspeakers and the people who make videos, and they all think that they're going to change the world, you know? Mm-hmm. And then you go look.
Again, wrong. How is it that I'm suggesting that we will change the world when Earth was, is, and always will be measured flat? Confirmed by you and everybody in Antarctica. Further confirmed by Simon Dan with thousands of flat Earth elevation angles. That's not changing the world. It's getting people to appreciate how it always is and always was dealt with by everyone. That's not a change. That's an appreciation of how Earth is and always was measured. No change needed.
Yeah, but Dave's not going to hear any of that because he pays no attention to flat earthers.
Which dumbass Dave you talking about?
Broad Dave.
Yeah, Professor Dave explains. He doesn't pay any attention. Flat Earthers. Even though his most popular video ever with 15 million views is all about flat earthers.
Well, what's the last video that you did that had more than 10,000 views? There isn't one. So there's not and 10,000 views out of just the country of the United States is like 0.002%. So if you can't even reach, a 20th of a percent, you're not changing the world.
Again, nobody's trying to change the world from our perspective. Excuse the pun. We're not trying to change the world. Go ahead.
Who gives a shit about reaching? Who cares? What does that have to do with the topic, you glue sniffer? What? Huh?
Being turned into a consensus reality, which it always was from the globe perspective. If the consensus believe they're on a globe, then they're on a globe. Now we, in their mind, are less right because we get less views. I mean, that's not strictly true. I get more views than Jeran. But in this instance, Jeran perceives the lack of views as a lack of correctness. Even though literally Congress has told YouTube to censor us. It's still, oh, well, you're getting less views. Well, of course we are.
I hate to tell you, but they just they don't accept anything that comes from outside their belief system. So it is an absolute religion, and in my opinion, one of the biggest.
A religion? So when I describe Al Biruni measuring Earth flat with horizontal distance measurement and trig, or Brian describes measuring Everest in the exact same way with horizontal distance measurements, surface level, and trig, is that us believing Earth is flat? Is that us in a religion? Or is it just us detailing how Earth gets measured? It's definitely the latter, Jeran.
Mistakes is allowing them in any scientific discussion.
1 second. The religion of objective measurement. Give me a break. Is he serious?
No, he's now going to go into a category error calling it science.
Right? Sorry?
I said, no, he's now going to go into a category error into claiming science because he doesn't know what science is and is denied scientific validity on multiple occasions. But now he's a baller. He can appeal to science in his bullshit way.
I have to say it again. He's claiming that we believe in objective measurements.
Yeah, we got you the first time. Thanks. 5 seconds.
I need a little bit more. I need a little bit more comeback then. You have to let me know you got me. You can't, no,
I was on mute. Sorry. I was on mute. Go 5 seconds. Nathan, back.
Just they don't accept anything that comes from outside their belief system. So it is an absolute religion. And in my opinion, one of the biggest mistakes is allowing them in any scientific discussion because it's not scientific. If you're scientific, you're making claims, you're backing claims with evidence.
No, that's not science. Science is observe natural phenomena, formulate a hypothesis, and then validate the hypothesis through experimentation. That's science. I've gone through this personally with Jeran. He's just an idiot.
You're going around saying we have no map, we have no model, we make
no. We're going around saying you measure Earth flat.
No claims, but then asking to be in debates. I mean,
no. I'm saying there is no debate. Earth is measured flat.
It doesn't make sense why they're even allowed in debates. They shouldn't be. That's not a scientific position to hold. So
there aren't scientific positions. There's just validated scientific inquiry with proof of cause.
I no longer look at them in any way scientific. I don't think of them.
He no longer looks at them scientifically.
Oh, thank God. What does that mean anyway?
It doesn't mean anything. It's nonsense waffle.
He said they shouldn't even be allowed into debates, right? So he's saying we should be excluded from more debate. Now, I don't remember us looking to go and debate Buck Sodbuster. But Buck Sodbuster is looking to debate us and loads of other ballers. Like, who's asking to be in all these debates?
Toon came into my claim to be echo chamber to ask me about guns or something. Debate about guns being in Antarctica. Shut up, whoever is interrupting me. But that's not debate when I point out the measurements of Earth are flat that they're currently measuring. Go on.
No one said anything.
Them as truthers, I keep saying to people like, look what happened to me. I was a truther. I went on a trip. I brought the truth back to the truthers, and
he was a truther, Nathan. He was a truther. He went down to Antarctica and got off a plane and said, "I want to see the truth."
And he brought back the truth.
Yes, he did.
Threw me under the bus and called me a bunch of names and blocked me. So it just tells me that those people were never looking for the truth. They don't want the truth. They want the truth that they believe in. And I think that's really kind of what YouTube is. You know, YouTube is a bunch of people who go out looking for reconfirmation of what they believe.
YouTube is a bunch of people. He's delusional. He thinks YouTube's a bunch of people.
That's the YouTube that he's on right now.
It's a platform. He's anthropomorphizing YouTube.
That all believes the same thing, and they feel very proud of themselves.
Everyone all believes the same thing on the YouTubes.
Yeah.
That he's on.
Like, I think it helps people who maybe didn't graduate. Let's say they didn't go to college.
Like you?
Yes, you.
And so you have something on them. You went to college. You were a professor. So,
sorry, did you just say you were a professor? No, he wasn't.
Yes.
No.
Yeah, I know. He did say that.
Charlatan.
Yeah, he wasn't. He's not a professor. That's a lie.
So if the flat Earth is true, all of a sudden now you're the idiot because you went to college.
Yeah,
you got a degree, but you actually were just indoctrinated with a lie, and they get to feel proud of their
perceptive of Jeran
not going to college. And when else in life do you really get to be proud of that?
In the UK, there are more than 3.
Hell? What the hell was that?
Complete reversal of the hierarchy. I'm better than you because I never learned anything because all of it was wrong.
Right. So I mean, imagine how funny. That, and like I say to them, I'm like, well, if they were indoctrinated, some of the things they believe are true. So it's like the difference between flat earthers and being a truther is the ultimate end of that is when you don't believe anything anymore. And
why do we need to believe or disbelieve anything? We've got measurements. That's not belief. I don't think you understand the difference between measurements and belief.
You don't understand a lot of things.
And
Elijah, you're off.
I started talking the same time Nathan did.
Yeah, Eli.
From the cave.
Yeah, Eli.
Man, when it's almost like they're non-belief shaming us. And it's like, fam, like at the end of the day,
ain't no fam here, cave dweller.
Referencing him. Bloody hell, QE. Go ahead, Eli.
Forget it. I forgot my train of thought. I don't like it. Whatever.
Shocking surprise.
And nothing is true. So it's kind of a funny that they call it a truther when you're actually never getting closer to the truth. Like, I'm happy. Granted, it took me 10 years. Granted, I'm a dum-dum for that. But I told people at the beginning of this when I first got into YouTube, I'm going to find the shape of the earth. Well, I found it. So I did find the truth. Now, granted, did I go a long path there, and did I tell some non-truths to people that I wish I wouldn't have? Yeah, but
so basically, you're admitting that you're a liar. That's what you're saying. Did I tell non-truths?
Not a truther.
Yeah, you did. So you're admitting you're a liar. I won't admit to that because I'm not a liar. There's nothing I'm lying about when I talk about Earth being measured flat. And when I bring it up to people who join my echo chamber, that would be Toon from the other side down in Antarctica, end quote you. He's measuring Earth flat and having that pointed out to. Is that me lying or questioning the truth? No, it's me pointing out demonstrable fact.
He said non-truths, so it's different. You know, it's not a lie if it's a non-truth.
But at the same time, I think people getting to see that is helpful. So I've gotten so many messages from people that are out of the flat Earth. You asked how it's doing. I think it's in shambles. I mean, you maybe won't notice that from the creators because they feel like every video they're doing is getting seen by everybody. And
no, I don't feel that at all. I feel like I'm heavily suppressed, like more so than ever. The more refined my arguments become, the more suppressed my channel and my content becomes.
They think any move that's done by the media or NASA is like a direct result of one of their videos.
No, I don't think that at all. On the contrary. But I do literally have people join my videos from Antarctica, if that's the subject on the table. Toon joined. My echo chamber? Yeah, that was to tell me that there was no guns there. He just didn't cope very well when I pointed out he was measuring Earth flat.
Right.
Which is hilarious. It's
delusional.
Right. Never even seen, didn't even know they exist. So yeah, they're just a shell of them former self, and it's because if you expose these people for the backtrackers that they are, let's use Eric Dubay for an example. Eric Dubay, in his 200 proofs, says 3 or 4 times about the southern 24-hour sun that doesn't exist.
Sorry, southern, as in a flat Earth only directionality. Like, have you never seen a compass, Jeran? You'd need an instruction manual.
Down. He's seen it upside down.
That there is no 24-hour sun. That light doesn't go past 80 degrees south. As soon as
80 degrees south, as in a flat Earth directionality for the angle off a flat plane. That'd be a flat Earth measurement, though, Jeran. So you're measuring Earth flat.
We go down there. Actually, as soon as we said we
down, what, perpendicular to a plane of reference? Down is a flat Earth only axiom. Go ahead, Brian.
The claim of the sun not going further than 80 degrees south comes from the Gleason's projection. That's where that comes from. And Jeran wasn't was 79 degrees south, according to him. So he can't even prove that it does go further than 80 degrees. He doesn't know what happened.
No, it's dark. Is it dark? It must be dark down there because the light doesn't go down there. What? Huh?
He flips to, it's been explained. It's completely explained by Lady Blunt. It's not explained. In her book in like 1900, she says, it's also come to our attention that there is a 24-hour sun in the south and that the light gets, the daylight gets longer the more south you go or the further away from the equator you go.
There wasn't any light down there.
And then she says, now, we don't have an answer for this, but as Zetics, we still hold that the Earth is flat. That's not having an answer for something when you're just like, yeah, we acknowledge that this thing that goes against us exists, but we don't have an answer for it. So there is no answer for that.
We don't follow Lady Blunt.
Now Eric Dubay is like, they were in a studio. So he went from saying, it doesn't matter if they see the 24-hour sun. Lady Blunt said it exists, so it doesn't matter. Then as soon as we get back, he's like, they were in a studio and they faked. Well, then we faked it, but it didn't matter. It doesn't make any sense. So
constant flip-flopping, and then all the clips.
How could this possibly go against the Earth measuring flat?
It doesn't.
Of
Dubay saying how badly he wants to go down there, and then he's given a free trip, doesn't want to go.
Was he? I mean, it was said by Duffy that I was offered a free trip and I wasn't. That was a complete lie by a fraud. But apparently Eric was offered it as well. I doubt that.
Oh, pretty interesting, right?
Yeah, same thing with Weiss. I mean, Weiss hasn't talked.
Dave, Weiss, you listening? Yeah, this is your boy. Yeah, this must really sting.
I wonder when your name's coming up.
Shocking.
I don't know, but I'm going to be rounding out shortly.
It's just crazy indeed. But what can I expect? I mean, you'd be, if that guy admitted it, he'd be losing his cash cow. So
his meager income. Yeah,
it may not be much, but it's going to zero from whatever it was is not that's kind of what's happening to me. It's not the healthiest thing to do, but sometimes if the alternative means you got to lie to people, you'll never catch me doing it.
Like you admitted to doing earlier with your not so truthful truths.
All right. Well, I appreciate the perspective and the
perspective. You're gonna need a flat Earth for that. Yeah, conspiracy cats. I'll give you a flat Earth for that perspective. Maybe you're not paying attention to your own side. You don't have perspective on a globe. Have you never seen your Earth curve maths?
Shout out to Adam.
Adam's seen them. He knows there's no perspective on a globe. Right, anybody got any last comments? Because I'm going to round out.
Any more? Said the other day.
So can you trust a liar? So I mean, because he says he admitted to lying.
Yeah, we got him. Yeah, they're morons. They're abject retards.
Right, with that, I'm going to say another huge, massive, enormous thank you to both Discord and G Plus panels for making today's after show possible. And of course, a massive thank you to all of you for liking, commenting, sharing, subscribing. Hit me up on PayPal and Patreon and all that good stuff. I've been Nathan Oakley, and I will see you all in the next video.